Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Stamford Bridge once more. Sorry for the delay. Sargon was trying to upload a picture, but, you know, he's very old and that's difficult for him.
I followed the instructions completely fine. Discord, for some reason, decides, look, right, okay, chat, right? Does anyone... No, I've Googled this and there's no answer, right? For some reason, when I'm uploading like 3 megabytes of image to anywhere on Discord, anywhere at all, a room or another person, for some reason, it's really fucking slow and it takes upwards of like 2-3 minutes. Does anyone have any explanation for this? I genuinely want to know because I've looked around, I've seen other people with the problem, but I have no idea why, and it's very, very frustrating.
Well, there you go.
So, chat. Try asking Jeeves, shut the fuck up, chat. Just solve my problem.
Bad workman, blame his tools. True.
I'm not even blaming the tools as a bad workman. It's just really slow, and I don't know why.
It's just really slow. Okay. Oh, Krieger came in with 4 separate $50 super chats. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Jesus, very generous.
Very generous. I think we should probably start with reading that then.
Go on, man. Read those first.
Krieger couldn't find a way to send this in one message, so please bear with my ramblings. It'll be 4 total. Streamlabs gives you more things, letter counts thingy, so that's an idea. I've been kicking around the idea Christianity is more important than liberalism. Morality is pre-rational, not a reasoned response. Whom said that reason is the slave of passion. I would counter that reason can be passion's slave, but just as often, scrolling, as a moderating force. To use Freud's model of superego, ego, id, the id is your base impulse and the superego is your moral intuitions. The ego is where those two collide and are mediated. To use Hum's characterization, reason, the ego can be used to justify, enable the worst impulses, but it can also step in on matters where your superego is muted or absent. Your intuition lacks response. That's why I think a doctrine is important. It provides a standard for reason to apply in areas where the superego is quiet. And what better doctrine than what crafted the moral intuitions of our home?
Heresy's the question.
Yeah, basically the idea of trying to find a rational basis for morality failed. This was the grand project of the Enlightenment itself, and in the 20th century, moral philosophers basically understood that no, this didn't work. And so in like 1981, Alistair McIntyre published After Virtue, in which he just says, look, this failed and it was bound to fail, and then he explains the reasons for its inevitable failure. So the question is, when does the world catch up to that? Because you'll notice that the left is still absolutely obsessed with rationalistic morality rather than habitual morality, as in the sort of Aristotelian morality of character rather than the morality of rules. Because this is one of the things about morality itself, and virtue ethics, in fact, that's really interesting. You'll notice that all of modern morality is, here's a set of rules. Do not cross these rules. Do not cross these boundaries. Do not say something racist. Do not say something sexist. Do not do this. Do not do that. Do not do the other. And so the left has this giant like table of rules that is constantly changing when new things are discovered to be racist and sexist. Well, what's really interesting is Aristotle basically doesn't have any rules, right? He doesn't have any rules that say, right, you'd never do this. What he has are advisements towards judgment. As in, you need to decide whether you are falling into excess or defect in any one thing. And so your personal judgment is how you're going to decide whether you're being a good or bad person. There's no just abstract rule to apply to. And so not only are you the author of what is the correct moral thing to do, you're actually the person who chooses and decides and is responsible for that. But it means that there's no one else you can appeal to, right? Because all of morality is actually kind of contextual and something that you have to negotiate with other people and yourself. And this is why good habituation, as in training yourself to be moderate, training yourself to do the right thing and doing it reflexively is actually a lot closer to what may constitute morality than blindly following rules. In fact, you could look at it and realize that following rules actually means nothing when it comes to morality, because I mean, a psychopath can choose to follow rules because it'll get him to the top of a corporation or whatever. That doesn't mean he's a moral person. That just means he's rational enough to follow some rules for his own benefit. It's like, okay, but you wouldn't say that's a good person. And there we are. That's basically the problem with all of morality since about 1800.
See, chat is complaining about some sort of echo. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so that's the kick one. That one's not recording. There's only one line on Streamlabs. Yeah, there really shouldn't be an echo.
Well, I can't hear anything.
Let me see.
Top of a corporation or whatever. Just to answer someone in the chat, it's not that necessarily morals are subjective. The term subjective is kind of the wrong way to approach the issue. Morals are personal, right? It's not that we can't have moral judgments about one another and decide that guy did something immoral. We can absolutely do that. But the person in charge of who acts in a particular way and who doesn't act in a particular way is you. So, like, having like an appeal to an abstract rule is not what it is to be moral. What that you can have a utilitarian view of following rules, and in fact, I do very much have a utilitarian view of following rules when it comes to, say, paying taxes. Holy shit, do I fucking hate paying taxes, but I pay them because I know that if I don't, it's just not going to be worth the hassle. Even though, but following, and the left tries to make a virtue of paying taxes. You'll notice it's like, but paying taxes is not a virtuous thing. It's fucking evil. I hate it.
Paying taxes is evil. Correct. But I also agree that there needs to be a doctrinal basis for the majority of individuals, because most of us don't actually want to spend a lot of time thinking about virtue ethics. It's not a topic that the majority of people wish to concern themselves with. And we have already come to agree. There you go. And we've already come to agree on the majority of these things. That is the fundament of our society. And having these basic doctrines in place then, via, for example, a religion, allows us to have a firm fundament. The problem with completely rational moral ethics logic is that there is no limit. It can be deconstructed or built upon ad infinitum. Because every time there's, but what about this situation? Okay, we need to expand the doctrine. Oh, but what about this situation? Okay, we need to expand the doctrine. But Vorsh just dropped the N-words. Oh, God, okay, we're going to have to expand the doctrine. And it never ends, and it becomes an unholy mess that nobody who doesn't study it for 6 years could possibly decipher.
Yes, and it just becomes a massive headache. But if you just raise people in, honestly, a sort of traditional way, as in give people a basic Christian morality in which virtue becomes just a matter of course for the nature of their lives, then you just don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. It's already been done. We don't need to worry about it. So, speaking of morality, we are about to watch a pair of communists, apparently. So I'm sure there won't be much involved of that in today's stream.
So I take it I asked you not to watch this. Did you watch it?
I have not watched it.
Right.
I just saw the channel name being like Workers Hammer or something. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's a really like hard left channel, right? But chat, I saw this video, I watched it, and I was like, fuck, this is so good, we're gonna have to watch this. But I told Arch not to watch it, so he wouldn't be prepared. So hopefully it's as good as I remember, because I watched it a week ago or so now, but hopefully it's as good as I remember.
And also, just before we start, a reminder, do go check out the previous video on the channel, as the GW has apparently decided to double down on not taking any action against the employee who was calling Charlie Kirk a fascist cunt and other things. if you want GW to not reward and nurture this sort of behavior, you do need to perhaps take some action here by emailing them.
You are the customer. You are entitled to complain when you're not happy that the company is doing something you don't like.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. That simple.
That simple. And again, like the thing too here is, GW appears to have now not only they've sided with the individual in question because they probably agree with him. So this is kind of the last ditch effort. If this is allowed to continue to fester within Games Workshop, for all intents and purposes, they're just fucking lost.
Oh yeah, I mean, I view them basically as being lost at this point. Because I mean, like, look, think their products are turning to shit, man.
Yeah, and I think that is in large part also due to the infiltration. Like, I saw other messages of the guy, and like it's very clear that this individual just doesn't like Warhammer 40k, and he's there purely for political reasons.
Yeah, I bet he is.
So do consider taking like 8 minutes out of your life and check that out after this stream. Thank you very much. Right then, let's see.
Service guarantee.
Now, God willing, this will also record audio on Streamlabs.
Welcome back.
It will. Thank God. I'm so happy I got it to record all noise again. Oh. Right.
Welcome back to another video from Workers Hammer. I'm Tom.
Do either of these guys look like they've ever used a hammer in their fucking lives?
No, I don't think so.
Or done any work?
No, they do not. They do not.
I actually don't want to be mean to them, but it's really funny how all of communism is just a giant LARP for the 20th century. It's like it has nothing to do with their lives whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely. Like, they're recording themselves in probably some sort of public library, I think.
Yeah.
The entire idea of a laborer is something that we've just kind of forgotten about in the West. A laborer today is a guy in a t-shirt and an Aloha fucking shorts holding an iPad. That's the worker. That's a laborer.
Yeah.
Joined by Vincent here. Hi. And we've just gotten back from the counter demo against Tommy Robinson.
And all right, okay. Yeah. So just for anyone who's not aware, we had a massive fucking demo last weekend. It went brilliantly. I mean, it was a huge fucking crowd, absolutely huge. God only knows how many, frankly. I personally would estimate about 500,000 to 1 million at the upper limit, but estimates go either way. And there was a small number, probably about 5,000-10,000 communists counter-protesting. But we outnumbered them so thoroughly that we kettled them in because our numbers just spilled around behind them. So the police were like, yeah, no, you can't go. And so they were just trapped there all day listening to us.
Yep. I've done a couple videos on this. Because there was an exclusion zone between the two protests because the police didn't want them to meet, obviously.
Which is good.
But there wasn't enough space for the Unite the Kingdom, all of the people who were in it. So the overspill of the Unite the Kingdom protest was so large that it surrounded the counter-protesters.
Yep.
And they were bussing people in. I found one of their websites, Socialist Workers. They were bussing people in from the Scottish border all across England. And they couldn't organize, like, anywhere near enough.
Nearly the numbers, yeah.
And they've been panicking about this on social media for weeks now. Like, they put out a tweet basically going like, oh my God, we are so horribly outnumbered. We are fucked. We need to mobilize.
And the things they were like, oh, no, there weren't that many Tommy Robinson supporters. There were just so many we couldn't get out, and they spilled. And that was just in the Whitehall area, right? Yeah. Like, it went back across the bridge, and God only knows how far, past Parliament and across the bridge. So, like, it was genuinely. I mean, when they're like, oh, it's 100,000, like, no, I think that was way more than 100,000, frankly. So just FYI. But yeah, the coping and seething has been like, oh, it wasn't that many. It wasn't that many. It's like, yeah, it was, and it's been, the meme of the crying face the whole time. They know they got BTFO'd by this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can tell it because all of their talking heads are fucking panicking. They're all talking about alliances between the various workers' units. They're like, motherfucker, you're already allied. You're not going to be able to mobilize more people on this.
Yeah, the People's Front of Judea and the Judean People's Front really need to stick together on this one.
And again, the demonstration went unbelievably well. Like, they've been reaching so hard for justification to talk about it. I saw one video, it's like, oh, look at all the mess they left behind. And it's just a street in England with some rubbish on it.
Well, it was messy, don't get me wrong, but if you get 1 million people out in the streets, unfortunately that does happen. I mean, it's the same happened with the Black Lives Matter protest. They didn't care about that.
A lot worse. The Black Lives Matter protests broke shit on the way through.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And the number of arrests, so 25 arrests, 8 of them from the Unite the Kingdome rally. So even in a situation where the leftists are outnumbered 5-1, they still somehow managed to take up 70% of the crime statistics.
But also, the only reason that any of that happened is because we couldn't help but go near your protest. As in, we had nowhere else to go. Yeah. What were you even doing there? We're not the government, for fuck's sake. If you want to protest, go protest the government. We're just people in the country. You can't protest your fellow citizens, you retards.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense. Tommy Robinson, well, what elected office does he hold? What decisions is he making? None? Then what are you fucking doing? I'm protesting this in favor of the status quo, bro. Yeah, no wonder you're so fucking outnumbered. Everyone hates the status quo.
Right. Let's get back to the workers' hammers, then.
Yeah.
And I think before we go to the lessons, we really have to look at the reality of what this demo was, and that is a pretty humiliating defeat.
I'm starting to feel a bit sorry for him, to be honest.
Right.
The one honest leftist.
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing, too. The psychological effect of a demonstration like this cannot be, overstated. When the people show up and they realize, holy fuck, we are crushingly outnumbered, that makes a lot of people who have been living their life in a very small, very insular bubble suddenly look around and go, oh, wait, am I alone?
Are we the bad guys?
The bad guys, yes, indeed.
Are the people actually against us?
Mm-hmm.
And if we look at, just a quick thing on this as well. A lot of people have asked, what was the point in these rallies? This.
Yeah,
right? This was the point. It was a massive fucking flex. It was to make the establishment and all of their supporters shit bricks. And what are they doing? And it's been non-stop, propaganda against the rally for a week now, coping, seething, completely unable to deal with the reality that actually, we can get 1 million patriots out in the streets. We can do that. So fucking be aware, and that was the point.
Hit the numbers alone.
Psychological warfare.
Tommy Robinson's side seems to have gotten around 1 million, and on our side, lucky if it was 15,000.
Yep. So there's been a lot of back and forth about the numbers. I think the most realistic estimate is probably between 250,000, 500,000, possibly upwards of 1 million, because there were a lot of fucking people.
I haven't actually seen a photo that encapsulates the entire rally.
I think I've seen one, and it's a constant unbroken stream of people from the tube station all the way to Whitehall, basically. All the way across the bridge, etc.
But remember, it goes around back further than that. So the streets on either side of Whitehall were the ones that were filled, that kettled these guys in.
Yep, that was the overspill from the main rally.
Yeah. So there's... and you would have to be very high up in a helicopter to have caught it all. I don't think any of them were. So I honestly don't think it's an over-exaggeration to say it's probably close to 1 million.
Yep. And the lefty demonstration, even 15,000 is might actually be an exaggeration, because they were in a very small area, comparatively.
I would say so. And you see the pictures; they're quite widely spread out as well. They're dancing and stuff.
Yep.
And so there's quite a lot of space between. Whereas on our side, everyone's packed shoulders. Like I had to push through the crowd to get to the stage. My God, man! Like it was not easy, to say the least. So, yeah, no, I would say 5,000 to 10,000 for them at the most.
Are you ready to run
More
this
likely
yellow Mars
10,000.
fluttery,
Mhm.
buttery
Oh, there we
So
go.
I think maybe if we just start there, you know, like how did we get here?
I mean, but
How did we get? Oh God! So this is also one of those things that has been going around Twitter for the last week. Like a lot of leftists asking, "How did we get here?" 10 years of continuous fucking abuse of your power.
Yeah,
Like
10
okay,
years of making the country worse. making
10 years of just
society
being
unbearable.
absolute fucking shitheads.
Yeah.
I found. Oh yes, there it is. So I'll DM you this image because since I'm usually sharing the whole video now, I can't just bring it up on the shared screen. I'll send it to you. This perfectly encapsulates what's happened right now. The radicalization. Like, because everybody started out with our principles, even earlier, like 2014, 13. Like, I just want everybody to have free speech. Slowly but surely, like, come on, Jesus, you're making all of these idiotic decisions. Imagine if it were you on the other end. We've finally arrived at, you're on the other end.
Yeah. And now I can't believe they're cheering about getting Jimmy Kimmel cancelled. It's like, oh yeah. Like, Jimmy Kimmel, when Tucker Carlson got fired in 2023, he was like, haha, it's great. And his whole audience fucking cheered. Fuck you. Fuck you. You think we're showing mercy now? Fuck you. You have no idea how much everyone is enjoying this.
Absolutely.
Razor Fist had a great video on it, right? A great take on it. He's like, listen, right? Everyone's complaining that in the middle of the fight, we're winning it. It's like, yeah. That's it. It's exactly it. We didn't start the fight. We didn't want the fight. And now we're winning it. We're not going to stop because you're fucking losing.
No.
When you're helpless and unable to hurt us, then we'll stop.
And because one of the narratives that is beginning to form now, too, is the idea that this just suddenly happened. Like, oh my God, suddenly the right wing is doing all of this to us.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you guys were against cancel culture. Yeah, we used to be.
That is not the correct picture. That's a horse girl racing game. Stop that. There we go. There. And no, like
I also saw like there was a tweet going around earlier, I replied to. They're like, oh, the right's gonna have to do some heavy lifting to try and defend free speech now. It's like we're the only people who've been defending free speech for a decade, you shits.
Yes.
You've been the fucking problem. Fuck yourselves.
Our virtue is not your shield. Fuck you.
Yes. Exactly. You're not going to use my principles as a shield.
Yes. Isn't this happening? Like, oh, that's the argument. Your opposition did something bad, so now you're doing it too. No. The argument is we've tried to make the you shouldn't do this, it's bad, for 10 years. And we've finally reached the point of like, no, okay, let's allow me to demonstrate.
Yeah, now it's self-defense. That's what this is. Self-fucking defense. Defang the wolf who's trying to tear out your throat. That's what you have to do.
Yeah. And now suddenly, like even Hassan put out like a caps tweet the other day. Like, oh my God, they're so much better at this than us. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, right? Remember, you guys were always trying to get people cancelled for things that aren't really very bad. Like trivial things. They're like, oh, he said something racist. He said something transphobic. It's like, ooh. But you're actually cheering for the death of people? Like, that's so much worse.
Yeah.
What
you
we
need to
did
write
is
a book
trivial.
to justify your cancellation. Oh, in this context, racist means All we need to do is don't cheer on the death of a person.
Yeah. Not just the death, either the murder of a person. Then Jimmy Kimmel, don't go and lie about it. It wasn't a right winger who did it. It was a left winger who did it. what a shock. Don't cheer it on. Because like the whole premise of like them being like, oh, I'm against racism, bro, is because it damages the social fabric. Right? It makes black people feel they don't belong in society. It's like, okay, yeah. So if we're worried about the social fabric, how does cheering on the death of someone you don't like, how does that damage the social fabric? What's that do to it? Is that bad for the social fabric? I think that's really bad, isn't it? That's actually fucking abominable, you fucking idiots.
Yeah. So like you don't get to use all of these tools and then realize, oh shit, our opposition does it a lot better than us. Yeah, we learn from the best. So suffer.
Yeah. Try not being evil next time.
I mean, before that, like, we have to be clear about this. Like, our side was completely defeated. Tommy Robinson won hands down without even a fight. The reports are different regarding the numbers, but yeah, the videos show the police said 100,000. It's obviously had more than that.
And there's the important thing too. Like the numbers don't matter. They can cope and see all they want on the social media. They can count and recount and put forth their own math. The reality is the left was demoralized. That's all that matters.
And our side was totally, the counter demo was small, was really, really tepid, wishy-washy, and
cowed, humiliated. Yes.
Yeah. Browbeaten.
What was also surprising is how confident and emboldened the right was, because the demo was attacked at Whitehall, people were trapped, and they were ready for showdown.
And
even that too. Again, it was just the overspill from the protest. Like that wasn't the Unite the Kingdome or like protesters going like, oh, let's get them. No, they couldn't fit into the area the police had set up, so they were just trying to get into the area through other streets and ended up surrounding the counter protesters.
And I love the thing, they were very confident. It's like, yeah, I bet. I mean, we were, of course, for good reason, because we were like, well, look, we've had enough. This is it. Like the English people are becoming genuinely politicized by the state of the fucking country because of what the left has done to us. Like genuinely, this is becoming like an issue of political awareness. The friend-enemy distinction has really started sinking into people's minds. I mean, like Rupert Lowe commissioned a poll recently that found that 62% of the public just want mass deportations. They just want millions gone. It's just like that's 2/3 of people are just like, yeah, I just want millions to leave. And it's like, yeah, no wonder we got 1 million people out in the fucking streets.
Even as the demo kind of got towards Whitehall, before you even got down that street, you have right-wing people with their, butcher's apron and everything.
Butcher's apron? Is this an English slang for something?
No, it's not. I guess what he's talking about is he saw a working class man, and like he's just like
for the first time in his life.
yeah. Well, that's no. Unironically, like he's describing like the kind of daily workwear of a working class man. This one happened to be a butcher, but you could get someone who wears like overalls, like he's a mechanic or a plumber or something, right? That's what he's trying to describe there.
For the first time in his life, the communist observed a worker.
Yeah, the soft-handed communist is like, why are these guys wearing butcher's aprons?
That's so fucking good.
I know, it's so brilliant.
They're emboldened, right? They're looking at this demo and thinking, oh, here's a good chance to cause a confrontation. Yeah. And they're not wrong.
Yeah.
It was easy for them.
Yeah, exactly. They know the left is weak. They know the demonstration is weak, and they know they have the wind in their sail.
Yeah. Wind in our sails.
Even then, I want to point out what happened to you, communist, when 10,000 of you were surrounded by 100,000 of them. What happened to you?
You walked away. That's what it is. You got to walk home.
Can you honestly say, if the positions were reversed, the same would happen?
Yeah.
And I mean, after all of the leftist demonstrations that have near universally turned violent and destructive, I think we can be pretty confident that no is the answer.
Yeah, I'm actually not prepared to give the benefit of the doubt to the communists on this one.
So what does this mean? Yeah, like what is this? I think, we have to be honest. This was a solid defeat, and I think if we are to go forward, we must use this demo as like a massive wake up call for the entire left. And
yeah, you love to see it, don't you?
You love to see it.
I think the first step into this wake up call is like whatever the left has been doing in the last years, it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's working really good for us.
Yeah. I'm quite happy with how you did, frankly.
It's been great at radicalizing the right, Hannah.
Yeah.
The right is growing and the left is growing weaker,
Mhm.
weaker, and the right
Yeah.
is stronger, and they have the win in their sails. So
It's remarkably how much weaker the left-wing position is, the more political power it gains.
Yeah, but also remember they lost all their US aid funding.
Yep.
So the lifeblood of their artificial, astroturf networks has all been sucked out. And so now what? Oh, we had like 5,000, maybe 10,000 people out. It's like, you know what? We raise all our own funding. Like, we don't have any fucking government or corporate sponsorships. We literally do this all ourselves, and look at us now. Fuck you guys.
I think that has to be the first like sort of starting point if we're going to have any sort of discussion about how did that happen, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just take a step back a moment and kind of look at how we did get here, though, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So how is it that we're in this position with these numbers, with the absolute impotence of this counter demo?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, the counter demonstration was organized by Stand Up to Racism. Stand Up to Racism has dominated really the fight against Nigel Farage and the right wing. The main force behind is the Socialist Workers' Party.
And that's the thing, too. I pointed this out when I was talking about it, too. Stand Up to Racism is one of those tricks they have been using for years that just don't work. Because, oh, you're against racism? Oh, well, cool. I am, too. Oh, and by the way, this is our tent. Socialist Workers' Party. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. This isn't actually about racism, is it?
No. And the thing about this as well is that Stand Up to Racism are just a perennial fixture of anything at this point. Because he is right. They completely dominate the left's activism in Britain. And they're just really insufferable. They're insufferable middle-class renter mobs. And they are literal renter mobs. As in, we're always like, oh, who's paying for these posters? Well, it is Socialist Workers' Party. Like, we actually do know. They have it on their website, Like, it's not a secret that the Socialist Workers' Party pays for all this. And it's like, okay, but nobody supports you. Like, nobody wants socialism, for fuck's sake. It's not like this is a new thing. Like, everyone knows what socialism is, and everyone knows it was gay and fucking destructive, and nobody wants it. So why are you still doing it? And it's like, yeah, now you've got like 1 million people against you in the flesh. And they're still like, wow, I can't believe we're so unpopular. It's like, yes, you're unpopular. Get a fucking hint.
What we've been writing about for many months now, and is that really the political basis on which they are organizing the fight against the far right is totally liberal.
Mm-hmm.
It's liberal politics. And this is really the root cause of the impotence of why, the left isn't growing and why the right is, winning the day.
Oh, good. Are we going to hear the communists argue for becoming more radical?
Or are we going to hear the communists being like, you know what, maybe we should not give a shit about racism? What are we going to do here, guys? You'd be like, oh, they're liberals. So, yeah, but you're liberals. Like,
Yeah,
you
like-
also agree racism is bad and is bad in every case and at all times and all places. Like, you'll never be like, yeah, actually, I'm not bothered by racism. So what are you going to do? How are you different to the fucking liberals?
And I think you saw the impotence of liberal politics today on display, really, on 13th September in London.
Yeah, Socialist Workers' Party. Oh, well, this is the impotence of liberal politics. Sorry, you're being funded by Socialist Workers' Party. Like,
Yeah.
your politics is not separable from theirs.
Well, that's the thing. All of this boils right back to the Gramscian tactic of let's use liberalism as our cloak. That is the sheep's clothes that we drape over ourselves.
Yep.
And for the longest time, that has fooled the middle class. But at the end of the day, it was only ever a trick. And the trick loses all value when the majority can see through it.
Yep.
Now, many people don't get this. They don't understand what you mean liberal politics, or what does that mean exactly. And when we...
Well, no, precisely the opposite. Well, actually, there's the thing. Everybody knows what liberal pretty much means. They have a basic understanding of what liberal means. It's what our society was built upon. It's being decent, not being racist overtly, all of this stuff. But what you mean when you say liberal is not what anybody else means when they say liberal.
No, you've got a very ideological view of what it is to be a liberal.
We say liberal politics is really that they're organizing these demonstrations based on, like, you know, grand, quote-unquote, progressive ideas, based on, like, moralism and shaming people for being racist.
And there we go. Like, that, again, isn't liberalism. That is your socialist version of it. Because at the end of the day...
Well, I mean, it could be a version... It is a version of liberalism. It is.
It is a version
of liberalism.
But it isn't what the majority of people think.
No.
It's like, oh, what is liberalism? It's shaming people. No. That's not what the average man views liberalism as.
It used to be that.
Yeah, that is your progressive version of it.
Yes.
In alliance also sometimes with the people who support the Starmer government.
Sometimes in alliance?
Relying on the police, relying on the state, as opposed to class struggle politics.
And there's the thing too. Class struggle politics don't exist. They don't exist. It is always the state who is required to enforce this. This is literally why, in the 1920s Italy, everyone was wondering, but where's the revolution? Marx promised us a revolution. Why aren't the workers rising? That's why they had to invent this entire thing.
Yeah, but also this is deeply anachronistic, right? As in, what are the classes? Sorry, what are we talking about? Do we have an industrial proletariat? Do we? No, we're post-industrial countries. What we have are like atomized people who work in corporate offices that don't know about each other or care about each other, and they're not being like oppressed. They're being completely disenfranchised. But that means there's no way to properly organize. Yeah. Like, there aren't. What kind of union would you have? I mean, a lot of these people are being paid really well.
Well, like, the tech unions. Like, the fastest growing unions today are fucking, like, game developers and programmers.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you have the socialists on the left. On the right, going like, oh, I saw a person in a butcher's apron. Like, yeah, that is your first encounter with the so-called labor class.
Yeah. But the point being, like, nobody works in like a bourgeois office job. You know, you're in an air-conditioned office typing on a computer. Like, you can't have a workers' revolution with people like that because there are no personal danger from their own job. Like, they're talking about politics that used to be things where it's people working with heavy industrial machinery, where there was a genuine risk of death. Like, you would wear your body out. And so actually, you know, being taken care of, and when you've got like relatively low skilled labor like this, where it's just like, you know, put thing in thing and try not to get killed. Like, yeah, there are millions of people who could do that job. So labor costs are very low. But if you're talking about like the average middle class office worker, which is like 40% of the economy or something now, it's like, okay, but that's not a person who is feeling like there's an existential problem with their job. What they're wondering is, why do I feel that my society has disappeared?
Yes. So, and I also want to point out,
class politics doesn't matter.
The only situation in which you get a workers' revolution historically is during periods of incredibly bad long-term situation. The French, there's only really been two revolutions that have been sort of successful. The French Revolution, at which point that was a culmination of like two failed harvests, like 60-70% increase in the cost of living, decades of misrule that finally managed to get people to revolt. Same in Russia.
Well, just to think, there are a bunch of other factors on that as well. So you've got the general proliferation of ideas of equality in a country that had never had them before, right? And then you also have the particularly weak monarchy of Louis XVI. Notice how they didn't do this under Louis XIV. You know what I mean? Like
Sun King.
Exactly, absolute tyrant of a king, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we're staying in our place." But Louis XVI tried to give them everything they were asking for. His problem was his weakness. He was a liberal monarch fundamentally, and so he ends up getting his head chopped off. It's like you need a dramatic confluence of events, and there were several other attempts at revolutions afterwards that were just crushed.
Yes,
They were just fucking crushed all through the 19th century. There were a bunch of revolutions. They're just crushed. Fuck you, not having your revolution. Now what? Oh, I guess we go back to work, I suppose. Like, there's nothing else to do.
things need to be uniquely bad. And the same in Russia as well. The reason why the Tsar was crushed was because he too was weak. And amusingly enough, his wife was the one who was like, Nicholas, you gotta treat the peasants worse. Or they're not gonna respect you.
And the thing is, Nicholas seems like a nice chap, really, didn't he?
Oh, he's a fantastic person. He's a fantastic family man, loving, very caring, great person, but he's not a Tsar.
Yeah, and what happened? The Bolsheviks murdered his entire family and him.
Yes.
So it's just like, okay, lesson learned.
And again, that's after decades of terrible fucking rule, a lost war against Japan, countless defeats at the hands of Germany, massive economic decline, millions of casualties. And even then, it took years and years and years of weak rulership and a massive depletion of the military for a revolution to happen. This entire idea of the working class standing up is a fucking fiction within a fantasy.
But also, the nature of the revolution was always built on social bonds that are way stronger than they are now, right? So people would go to pubs, they would go to coffee shops, they would associate. In France, they had all sorts of bourgeois social clubs. The Friends of Liberty and stuff like this. There were all sorts of them. So you'd pay an annual due, you'd go there, you'd associate with other like-minded intellectuals like yourself, in which you would end up forming these groups that would be active in the revolution. But look at the society now. Like, pubs are closing every fucking day because people aren't going to them. Like, society itself has never been weaker. Like, there's going to be no organizing. Like, the internet has so thoroughly atomized us that there's just no danger of a fucking revolt.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So maybe we can break that down.
Well, even when that alliance isn't clear, like there's never a an actual clear line against Keir Starmer,
Yeah.
It's always only us that have those slogans against Keir Starmer, and of course, obviously, on paper, the entire left is against Keir Starmer.
Well, almost, yeah.
Keir Starmer was a fucking Trotskyite or Pabloist or whatever they call him in his youth. Keir Starmer was a student revolutionary just like them.
Yeah, but of course, it's the nature of progressivism, is that by definition, there is no true Scotsman in leftism. It can't exist. No matter how far left you are, it will never be as far left as new wave of leftists. And so they will continuously disavow their leaders. And that is also another function of the Gramscian plot of pushing towards socialism. The problem is that it makes you deeply unpopular.
Yeah, and notice how they're like, oh yeah, on paper we're all against Keir Starmer. It's like, yeah, because on paper you say, Keir Starmer, you are not going far enough towards leftism. And Keir Starmer, if he was in the room, he'd say, yeah, but it's just not practical. I can't get that done. But what I can get done is ending the death penalty for child murderers in Jamaica. I can get that done. And so I'm getting that done. They'll be like, well, yeah, I agree with that, but you should have also abolished private property and collectivized the means of production. It's like, that's not going to happen, bro. Yeah. Keir Starmer's not going to get that done.
Because
so it's not that you're actually against Keir Starmer. Exactly. It's not that you're actually against Keir Starmer. You're just disappointed in Keir Starmer.
Yeah,
That's
you're
your
against
problem.
the system because the Keir Starmer works within the system, and he looks out across the sea of people and go, "If I do what you tell me to do, the next time 250,000 Englishmen arrive at Parliament, they're not going to walk past it."
Yeah. It's going to be a much bigger headache for me, frankly.
Well, almost, sure. But when it comes to the situation of a demo like this,
Yeah.
then it gets a bit too much. And why is that? Well, you also have to look at how the left is in the bed with trade union bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah.
we kind of.
I don't know much about trade unions in the UK.
Well, they're a lot weaker now than they used to be. In the 70s, the trade unions held the country ransom, and Thatcher broke them. Absolutely broke them. And since then, they've never really got a foothold. And the thing is, a trade union obviously is for an industrial manufacturing base. We don't have that anymore. So having a trade union, again, it's a kind of archaic throwback. Why do we need this? I'm going to work from home on Discord. And I have an email job. My job is sending emails, or my job is writing code or something. Why do I need a fucking trade union, bro?
Well, we've got to mobilize the steel workers. Actually, you sold the steel industry of England to India, so...
Yeah, and to China. It's all gone, mate. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And we need the shipbuilders. No, those went to South Korea.
Yeah, everything's gone, bro.
All of the industrial base you rely upon, you've sold out to the European Union, to India, to China, to Korea.
Yeah.
Go into a bit too much of a segue if we went there, but
we'll get to it in a minute. But let's start with the appeal. The stand up to racism. Its main slogan all the time, whether it was in Epping or in these demos, is "refugees are welcome here."
Mm-hmm.
And again today on the demo, you would hear it constantly. It's like no borders, refugees are welcome here. And
which are just bad arguments now. These were always arguments that relied upon ignorance. It was something you'd tell to the average person and they'd nod their head like, okay, well, I mean, I guess.
I'm in favor of helping people in need.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in favor of helping people in need. But after a few million people arrived, and they kept arriving indefinitely, and the situation only got worse. Meanwhile, the situation in their parent countries never got any better. It's like the same why funding for international aid has been dropping enormously year over year. Because to begin with, there were these huge television fundraiser drives. You remember those? Like Stop Hunger in Africa. Big things. Mm-hmm. All kinds of artists came out. They organized. They raised millions and millions and millions every time. And now Africa's still hungry. Fucking...
trillions have been poured into Africa and nothing has changed. So it's okay, why would I bother?
We literally can't count. We know the number is somewhere north of $5 trillion.
Yeah. It's like, why would I bother? I don't think they want it as much as you think they do.
Yeah, and so people just go, okay, well, I've helped you. I've lent you the cup of sugar. I've lent you my garden hose. I've lent you my lawnmower. I've done everything I think is reasonable, and nothing seems to have happened.
Yeah. So I don't think I'll bother anymore.
And really, what this slogan has become in the general working class population, it rings like a slogan in defense of the government. Mm-hmm. Actually, this is what's been happening.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, people for some reason think we're in defense of the system, and it's it's because you've been defending the system this whole time.
Mm-hmm. We know. See, that's the thing. The left is constantly. It is the establishment. It's been the establishment for 10 plus years. All of the companies kowtow to them. All of the governments, and they keep going. Oh no! That's not us. Everybody knows that's you.
Yeah, it's not anyone else, is it? You fucking idiots.
Keir Starmer is up there, oh, refugees welcome. You're saying the same thing. Oh, but we're different. No, you're not.
Yeah,
what about this small esoterical definitional difference that I came up with on the way to school?
Yeah. That's literally the entire argument as well. Don't care, frankly.
Don't care. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Your headcanon does not amuse me.
Yeah.
The government and the British ruling class has for many years bring a lot of immigration in order to bring down the cost of labor, in order to squeeze the working class even more. It's one of its tactic, really, to divide and oppress the working class.
You have
Oh, hang on a second. Holy shit. Aren't you a leftist? Aren't you like, good God, they're using immigration to attack the working class. We must end immigration. Wouldn't that be the very first thing out of the average leftist mouth? You would think, right? My God, this is unacceptable. They're destroying the working class through mass immigration. Immigration is a capitalist attack against the working class. We have to do something.
Yes. And I've got like that. That's the thing. It's one of those things where they cannot fucking square the circle. I'm like, oh, but we don't want to hurt our working class. Oh, but we did just import 1 million people to drive down the price of wage or labor again.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we don't want to be racist, though. It's fuck off.
Because this happened during when they left the EU. So with lorry drivers, like truck drivers, right? Because English truck drivers were being massively outcompeted by Polish truck drivers who came in, owned trucks, worked individually, charged fucking nothing competitively. EU was blocked from doing it. Suddenly, the demand for English truck drivers skyrocketed, and it became far easier to be an English truck driver. It turns out that, protectionist economic policies are actually really good for a country in many ways.
Well, I mean, they're good for the workers of that country, if you give a shit about that, Mr. Fellow Leftist.
A rotten economy within the confines of capitalism. How do you actually solve that?
Yeah.
Within the confines of capitalism. Well, there's the thing. Okay, how do you solve this outside of capitalism? You simply abolish money and all incentives. Like, okay, now people aren't going to work at all. Like, you don't have an alternative to this fucking system.
I mean, not just that though. How do you stop the evil billionaires weaponizing mass immigration against the working class? Well, I've got an idea. It's going to sound radical, but you close the borders. That's literally that simple. Because I mean, like that, you can go, and the thing is, it's not like this hasn't been tried, right? You can go back, 30 years to the early 90s, where immigration was sometimes negative, as in we didn't have net immigration, we had net emigration. And house prices were only 4 times the average wage, and everyone had money, everyone was doing well, the economy was improving, and then we ended up going to a boom in the late 90s, and then Tony Blair cranked open the floodgates. It's like, but why are we doing that? Everything's going great.
And you can feel the gears crashing against each other here, as they're like, we can't stop mass immigration, everyone is welcome here, but that is destroying the working class. How is capitalism to blame for this?
Exactly.
Yeah. You, obviously, to them, it's not feasible to up the conditions of the working class. That doesn't make sense. You have to use immigration to fill in the holes, both in terms of wages, but also in terms of training. Obviously,
Yes.
You can get immigrant workers who have done the training in their wherever they're coming from.
Ah, yes, the doctors and the engineers from Angola.
It's going so well. But notice how they've flipped now, right? So before they were like, oh, we care about the working class, and therefore we have rightly identified that immigration is destroying them. But now they've flipped to the system. Right. So like they're like, oh, we're against the liberals, but here's the liberal systemic view, the Keynesian view of the economy, of people just interchangeable widgets. So, there's a problem with the system. I thought you guys were against the system. I thought you guys hated the system, right? But now you're like, we need to cram in as many migrants as we can to prop up the system, or else the system will be the problem. It will fail. It's like, but you're fucking revolutionary communists. You meant to want the system to fail. But that was always the
Fire
point.
the answer.
Gramsci would be like, yes, the system's failing, brilliant. You know, like, it's so wild how these guys don't understand what it is they're meant to be for.
Well, again, like they have never actually thought about what they want here, because on some level, they understand that if they manage to make the state collapsed, then that Angolan butcher is going to probably come from them first.
Mm. But not only that, like they're propping up the system that prevents communism. Like that's what they're doing when they're like, yeah, we need to import people to do the jobs that British people are too lazy to do, whatever their narrative is. That's them propping up the system.
And it's also the understanding as well that if the system collapses, and there's then the option between socialism, more of what made the system collapse, or find all the socialists and drag them through the streets, option B is going to be significantly more appealing to the majority of the population.
Yeah, plenty of people are going to be like, you know what, I am listening.
Workers, you're free! You destroyed everything!
Yeah.
And then, of course, actually, you know, liberals like to point out how wages aren't going down. The point they don't really talk about is how they are stagnated, you know?
Yes.
And how all of the other prices are going up.
Yes.
So they bring a lot of immigration. Then you have massive refugee crisis caused by the wars and imperialist depredation.
Yeah.
A lot of
Whoa,
refugees.
what is this bullshit? What is this bullshit narrative? Okay, what war is going on in Syria at the moment, right? Not much, but what war is going on in North Africa? Like, why are millions of sub-Saharan Africans from, like, you know, Ghana coming and Kenya? What wars are you fucking talking? I love the assumption the rest of the world is just this perpetual Warhammer 40,000 hellhole. There is nothing but war outside of Europe. So we've got to cram as many of these people in. It's like, okay, but aren't these also the people who cause the wars? If they're foreign and war is just a condition of foreign parts, why do we bring foreigners here? Why wouldn't they bring their wars here? And oh, look at that, they are. They fucking are. They bring, like, literally, they're bringing their ethnic conflicts here. It's fucking great. These guys just haven't got a clue.
Yeah, the thing is, like, a lot of these places, they have constant internal tribal warfare, basically. One ethnic group versus another ethnic group that's been going on for the last 500 fucking years. And these are not because of imperialistic deprivations. In fact, if anything, if the Portuguese, the Spanish, the British were actually there and going, no, savage, you don't get to kill those other savages, stop.
Yeah,
there'd be a lot less of it.
Yeah, the only time this sort of stuff ended is when we put an end to it. So
yes.
Again, you rather than bring them here to destroy our working classes, what these guys are actually asking for is imperialism.
Yes. Like,
they want to go over and stop them killing each other. Oh, good luck to you.
In German East Africa, when one tribe was predating another, the Germans would simply move in and go, stop. Then one tribe would refuse, and then that tribe would cease to be.
Yeah, and then the Germans kill them.
that was how you stopped the conflicts over there.
Very German way of stopping conflict.
Right here, they're dumped into these towns where there's usually, you know, nothing, no jobs, no prospects, no services, and they're put there by the government as well. Yeah. And so you have this picture of a rotting country where the ruling class brings the ever-growing number of immigrants, puts refugees into these rundown towns, and Stand Up to Racism then arrives in these towns against people who are quite justifiably angry at this and says refugees are welcome here.
Holy shit, he's beginning to wake up. Well, we've rotted our country with mass immigration. Continuing to rot it further will not help.
And then turning up with a little sign saying refugees are welcome here. You can see why Stand Up to Racism aren't winning hearts and minds.
Yeah, with a little placard. We're going to continue doing this. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to go on forever, is the message from Stand Up to Racism. And say, yeah, well, fuck you. I'm joining the Tommy Robinson rally, you know what I mean?
And And of course, to be clear, we're anti-racist. We're,
There we
against.
go.
You don't fucking sound it, buddy. You sound as
look-
right-wing as any of us now.
But look at what he's saying. To be fair, we agree with everything the libs say. We agree with Keir Starmer on everything, in principle. There's
Yeah.
literally nothing upon which we disagree with Keir Starmer, and yet here we are going,
We have identified a problem, but our doctrine forbids us from addressing it.
Yes, that's exactly it. Exactly it.
Anti-immigrant bigotry. We're against deportations. We are for the defense of refugees.
God help me. He accurately identifies the problem and then he immediately goes on to say, but I refuse the fix.
I accept the problem. I just don't want to solve it.
Yeah, I know there's an issue. I have no interest in fixing it.
Why is the left losing?
But when you just go into these towns with refugees are welcome here, with a program of calling anyone who questions this entire setup as racist, as a fascist, well, you will inevitably anger people.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, your problem isn't with the messaging, even though you know that there is a problem. Your issue is, our optics are pretty poor.
No, the problem is the messaging, right? The problem isn't the thing that's being done. Like the fact that these rapey migrants are being shoved into people's homes, near their schools, so they can be predators on their kids. That's all fine. Refugees welcome, obviously. I'm as anti-racist as anyone. The problem is the messaging. Turning up with the placards is pissing people off. So we need a different strategy. It's like, are you mental? Are you actually fucking mental?
And it's like, okay, the problem is there. The problem won't disappear because you refuse to stop the problem. And so your solution to the problem is we need to redefine the problem.
Yeah.
You must understand on some basic intellectual level that they will not fix anything, surely.
I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't.
Tell me.
Push them into the arm of the right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we should emphasize the point of how rundown, these communities in Britain
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Let's take Epping as an example. What have the working people in this town really got going for themselves? And so when you add a group of immigrants on top of that, then the scarcity of resources just intensifies. Okay. And the point isn't that, you have to deport them. Of course, that's not the answer.
How is that not the answer?
How is that not the answer? Okay, you have a limited number of resources, as you put it. There's scarcity. There's too many people. The answer is not to reduce the number of people.
Also, it's that meme of the guy, literally a communist who looks like this guy, going up to some average guy and going like, is it because you don't know the means of production as the town behind is full of fucking burkas and falling apart with a mosque in the background? It's like, look, man, actually there are some things beyond money that I'm bothered about with the state of my country. These people being here is one of them.
But you have to find a way to actually meet the needs of those people in Epping.
So the solution is, let's magic forth more stuff out of the ether. Oh, thank you, communist. Thank you.
Yes, that's literally his solution.
Fantastic. I mean, hey, I agree with you. If I too could just pull a fucking Star Trek replicator out of my ass, that would fix a lot of problems. And yet...
It's remarkable, isn't it? Absolutely remarkable.
Like, the solution to the problems that communism has created is magic. Fucking fantastic. Thank you.
I mean, I believe him as well. I believe that is what he thinks the solutions to the problems of communism are. We're going to need a wizard, a literal wizard.
The solution is just to give everybody more. Okay.
Because we're all out of ideas.
Okay, let's humor that for a second. Let's say that we've got a magic bag of apples, and we can give everybody there an apple each. Everybody's happy. Then you bring in another 1 million people. Now we're back to everybody having half an apple again.
Yeah, exactly. We're back to square fucking one.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
And it's not to simply welcome the refugees, because you do end up just being kind of pro-government line, essentially.
And
I mean, we want to welcome the refugees, but we don't want to welcome them because the government says it. We want to... God damn.
We don't want to welcome them in the way that the government does it either. Like, I love this. We're in favor of doing everything that they're doing. It's just that everyone's hating us because of it. And so we don't have a way of getting out of this trap.
Like, they're desperately struggling to find some way to differentiate themselves from the state, and they can't find any.
No.
the dividing
But I
lines.
mean, I don't even know what they would do either. Like, what would be the option?
Okay, so the government position is refugees are welcome here. Your sign says refugees are welcome here. You agree with that sentiment, even as you go, this is going to destroy us. And so your only response is, well, we agree with that, but in a different way. What? Are we arguing over the spelling? The phrasing?
They've been drawing, and that's for months for Epping and other place. The dividing line they've been drawing hasn't been trying to unite the plight of immigrants with the plight of, native-born British people.
Oh my god, the plight of the immigrants. Fuck the immigrants.
We've already gone over that. You cannot unite this plight because, as the guy on your right just said, there's not enough stuff. Their plight is, we don't have enough stuff.
Yeah, and it literally is. Like, Britain is becoming a poor country. Like, it's just, everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. We're a poor fucking country at this point.
Against the government.
No.
It's been
Against the government. Oh, God, help me.
the slogan "refugees are welcome" here. The line is drawing. It's between those who are for the refugees and those who are against. And it's a slogan that targets not the government, which is responsible for this mess, but it targets people who are quite legitimately angry that their rundown town now has also to care for dozens or hundreds of refugees.
Exactly. It's a false polarization. And actually, the thing is
how is it a false polarization?
It's just the polarization. We have a left-wing government that is ruining us, and you're like, well, I'm kind of in favor of it.
It's
Okay,
remarkable. Like, there's a blank line of code in their head where they go, the problem is there's not enough stuff, and there's more people taking the not enough stuff. This is a false problem. No, that's
it's a very real problem.
There being more people taking away the not enough stuff is the problem. It's like, but they're being polarized falsely, incorrectly. No, what the hell? It's like they have the logic up until the point where they need to come up with a solution, and then it just disconnects.
Well, I mean, the problem is they're asking for exactly what the government is doing. And the thing that the government is doing is terminal. It is fucking terminal for my country. So, like, this is just because they've got nowhere else they can point, right? At no point has a right-wing government been in charge and done this to them. This is all the product of left-wing human rights philosophy, anti-racist philosophy, and it's ruining everything. And so they're like, right, okay, obviously we're in favor of anti-racist left-wing human rights philosophy, but look at the fucking results. And it's making everyone really right-wing. And there's no getting out of this trap.
You actually, you do fall into kind of the line of Farage himself, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're for immigration or not. Like, that's the problem. Even if you're putting demands for homes and jobs for all, like the Socialist Party do, without actually head-on confronting what is the legitimate concerns, and also how to unite both immigrants and native workers, you know.
But why would you think they can be? Why would you think the native workers could be like, yeah, I want mass immigration, mass competition, strangers who are dangerous to my family? Why would you think I could be united with those people?
Well, so I want to see if he finishes the computation.
I get that.
Well, it's not enough, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
No, he doesn't. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, no. The problem is, as he says again and again, there's a finite amount of stuff. There's not enough stuff for the people who are here. We bring in more people. Now there's even less stuff. And then the solution never occurs. He only mentioned the socialist part, like, oh, but our side is for enough stuff for everyone. Okay, but...
That's nice.
That's wonderful, but it's not there.
Yeah, that's so very dreamy, but
like the socialist steps, like literally, you have the worker and his cookie. That foreigner's coming for your cookie, and the socialist comes in and says, "But what if we had 2 cookies? I have 1 cookie."
Yeah, and I don't want that fucking foreigner taking it. 'Cause it's the only cookie I've got, mate. All right.
Yes. That is the problem. Simple. I have 1 cookie. And God help me.
I know.
Fucking help me.
These fucking people, man.
Oh, God help me. All right. God, we are 10 minutes in. How the fuck is this taking so long?
I don't know. Let me just grab a drink a second. I'm back in a sec.
Yeah,
do you want to go through some super chats?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to go through a few super chats. What if we had 2 cookies, chat? What if we had 2 cookies, chat? Would you give your second cookie to the black man? Quietus, you want to try the legal route? Okay, Hassan Destiny must serve time in federal prison for continued call to violence. If that does not happen, the legal method has failed, and they must be... Can't say that on YouTube. Well, I don't even necessarily agree that it will be the legal method to send them to jail. I think it is enough to simply demonetize them, to take away their incentive to spread bullshit. Dizwiz, I'm all for labeling them as terrorists. You two won't let me finish this word, but will it have a feasible effect? It depends. Antifa is now a terrorist organization. If that is enforced, it will have an effect. Because for all of the leftists going like, oh, it's not an organization, oh, it's not real. Antifa has headquarters in America. There are dozens of Antifa websites that they can take down. There are physical locations that can be raided. There are people on Twitter declaring themselves to be Antifa. But it can't simply be, oh, they're terrorists now. You've got to treat them as terrorists, too. Leper King, I pray your help. Expose Antifa cells. They are very well concealed. John Brown Gun Club in my state, a professional at OPSEC, which no longer mock these threats as trivial. Well, exactly, that's it. Like, the FBI then needs to go, okay, well, we're going to now actually try to find these people. Brian in PNW, been following you guys for a decade now. Holy crap, Call of a Khan 2015. I just want to play games. Call of a Khan 2025. I'll burn down your temples and spit on their ashes. Yes, we will only be safe when the last brick of the last Socialist Workers' Union temple falls upon the head of the last socialist. Chickador once heard an atheist say he was grateful for Christianity due to its setting up the current society that he benefits from morals and ethics. Absolutely. Doc Resurrect, the left started a bare knuckles fight and are now mad we finally took the gloves off. The social and political beatings will continue until morality improves. Bite the pillow, communist. Precisely. We're now finally using their tools and they're upset about it. Alex Robinson, God bless you guys. 8 liberalism, 8 democracy. Return to knights and clerics. As a Luxon doppelganger, no, it's absolutely not enough to just deplatform Hassan Destiny. They must face the same legal consequences that I would face if I did the same. No other outcome is acceptable. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be nice. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. I would be content if they suffered the consequences that they cheered on for others online first. Plus, proving incitement to violence is far more difficult than proving the TOS violation. Gigatwin, I don't think a wizard would be the answer. My proof is an old D&D setting called Mystara. There's a country called Galantry. It's a nation where wizards rule and magic items creation has been industrialized to maximize profits. Well, yeah, eventually the bag of infinite apples will end up in the hands of somebody who thinks to himself, I could trade silver pieces for these apples. Caleb Hutchin. Ethan Klein had a very good response to Charlie Kirk's assassination, calling out leftist violence. A3, H3, and Shoehead are why the left hate parents. Humble Craigsman, greetings you two. Completely off topic. Is it a possibility that with the housing crisis, 3-generation households become a necessity again? Oh, God. So, I'm old enough to remember that. Generational householding. My parents' first house was intended to be a generational house, where my grandfather built it to house both families. And that was entirely normal. That was how you did things. The idea of having your own house was a very rich thing to think about in Norway at the time, as we were still just basically an agricultural nation before we found oil. And, I mean, the problem is that it's just as expensive. It's far more expensive, in fact, to try to do that. So if you're going to build a generational house today, you're still going to have that first generation that is going to have to be able to pay for that house. That's the issue. Because generational housing was first and foremost around things like being able to procure land, for example, and the initial investment. When you would have the initial investment once you'd had a profitable life, and you'd worked hard. Now, I mean, the average age of a house owner today are their late 30s. So in many cases, you'd already be having a family for like 10 years before you'd even start on the generational house. At which point, of course, you've been paying rent for like 10, 20 years anyways, which will be sucking up your income too. Because renting is the worst thing you can do. When it comes to, like, getting a home, eventually, renting is one of the worst things you can do. It is better to try to borrow the money and purchase a house outright than it is to rent. Like, renting is the worst thing. It costs so much, and it leaves you with nothing.
I mean, it's literally just pissing money away.
Yes. It's genuinely the worst thing you can do. But the problem, too, is, of course, that with the increased house of pricing, if you're 20 and you've just had your first job and you go to the bank and says, oh, I would like a loan for £1 million,
they'll say no.
They're going to fucking laugh you out of the building. Or even like, not even $1 million, but like, what's the price of a house in England these days?
Probably about 300,000.
Okay, so £300,000
for a middling house,
Right, so you'd have to go to the bank. You've been working for like 6 months, and you're going to ask them for £300,000.
In the south of England, anyway. In the north, you could probably get one for like 100,000. It wouldn't be good though.
Like, and even that's a lot better. Like here in Norway, the average cost of a house would be roughly equivalent to 400,000, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at that point, you're going to be in debt for the next 20, 30 years if you ever get out of it.
Mortgage. The average mortgage.
And even 25 years of mortgage is better than rent. But you then also need to be in a position where, one, you can get that mortgage, and two, where you can stay employed for 25 years.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got a much better chance of, and either way, you're building up equity in the house anyway.
Yes.
So it's just better for you to be doing that than just peeing money away down the drain.
Yeah, because again, if you rent, that's not your house. No matter how many years you pay rent on that house, it's never your house.
Yeah, you will never gain anything from it.
And Mogler, hey Carl, heard Jezbola collapsed today?
Oh, we're going to cover it on the podcast tomorrow. It's so funny. I'm not going to spoil it though, but it is so funny what's happening.
Sheikh Silver, of note, true leftists may cry about things being unfair, but they know deep down they're truly being defeated as enemies in a war. The last holdout to this reality appears to be liberals effectively looking for fairness from the left getting what's due. Yes, the final tactic now is to look up at the vengeance they've called down upon their own heads and go, do you really want to do this? Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions?
That really is it. It's looking up at the headsman like, are you sure? Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I'm very convinced that all of leftism is basically a giant civilizational shit test, because the right basically has not had the courage of its own convictions for a long time. And I think that's really like in sort of like the Louis XVI way, right? It's like, well, if you don't have the courage of your convictions, I'm going to destroy everything around you. It's like, okay, well, now I do. Now we absolutely do. Now we are just sick of your shit. We're going to put you in the fucking ground. We are going to get on with making an actual decent civilization now. And I genuinely think like some sort of this sort of woman who goes from abusive relationship to abusive relationship. You've got to ask, is it you that's asking for that at some point? You know, like it can't be a coincidence. You just happen to get abusive boyfriend after abusive boyfriend. And I genuinely think the left is basically that at this point.
Guarantees citizenship.
Yes. All right. Let's make another heroic effort to get through some more of this.
Go on.
For months, for years, essentially, the strategy has been, we go to these, we meet these demo, refugees are welcome here, which is honestly perceived by a growing number of people as a defense of the status quo, as a defense of the government. And then the SWP part security, but also other, I would call them liberals in these demonstrations, they double down saying that, no, there is no legitimate concern about immigration, you know?
Yeah.
You can talk about
You double
housing.
down. You doubled down. You said, oh, no, I'm as anti-racist. Of course, deportations aren't the solution.
Yeah. Okay, listen. We are not at the point of equivocation anymore. You can go, oh, I understand your concerns. At which point we'll not, okay. What's your solution? I don't have one. All right, then, let's continue.
Well, then you must be evil. Yes, this is a legitimate problem. Yes, this is ruining you. Yes, these people are dangerous to your children. But no, we can't get rid of them. It's like, oh, then you want this to happen.
Yeah.
Then you're in favor of this happening. That's all I'm going to take from it. Because you know the problem. I can hear you admitting it right now. But if you don't want anything changed, then you're in favor of the consequences.
About welfare, etc., but any concern about immigration is illegitimate. And that's absolutely wrong, because the truth is that the immigration system in Britain is broken, just like everything else, honestly.
Yeah.
And how did we get here? Because here's the thing. We actually had a pretty good immigration system in much of Europe. We had an integration system where you came, you were given like 4 years of schooling, they taught you the language, they taught you to read and write, they taught you the societal norms, then they placed you in some isolated village somewhere where you had to deal with the locals, you had to integrate. But the problem was that system could only handle a few thousand at most.
Yeah, really small number.
Yeah, and that produced actually integrated immigrants. And then you were, but that's not enough.
Yeah. And then it begins with New Labour, and then the Tories just rank it up. It's like, and when you're at $250,000 a year net, it's just like, no one agreed to this. This is completely unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that, oh, you can talk about all these jobs and whatever, but you cannot talk about immigration or else you're a racist. You're only coming off as people as a defender of the government in this sphere. Even if you hate Keir Starmer in your heart, when you demonstrate with these slogans, the message you send is that you're a bunch of racists and the government's right.
Yeah. Well, this is where people's minds.
That's literally your opinion, though.
Yeah. That's what you said. You've been disagreeing with the government for the entirety of this video without ever actually being able to verbalize how.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have a disagreement with the government. We can all see it.
Are at. This is the question, or one of the most important questions to people. So if you don't actually confront it, then you're not going to undercut either Keir Starmer or Nigel Farage or anyone else for that matter.
And this also fundamentally comes back to a problem like Sargon. For years and years, the quote-unquote right-wing politicians have attempted to outflank the left from the left, to try to be, oh, but I'm not racist, look, I'm for immigration too. And it never worked, because they will simply move further left.
Yeah, not only that, though, it's not just immigration, it's also, oh, here's hate speech laws, here's, all this internet controls. So, like, people can't be racist online and stuff like that. It's like, oh, yeah, that's really helping. Yeah, I'm sure that's really making people not hate the fucking left.
Yeah. And now, you guys are starting to try to do the same. Oh, we need to outflank the right from the right. Good luck.
Yeah, good.
Good fucking luck.
I mean, honestly, anyone can outflank Nigel Farage from the right at this point. So that's not that hard, actually. So that's the problem with Nigel Farage and not the right more broadly.
Because to actually get into the minds and hearts of working people, you have to deal with what they're, what's going on in there.
Yeah.
God, I'll tell you, sorry, just a quick thing. Working people, the working class, at this point, it's just a fetish that these people have. Like, this is just a fetish. They don't actually care about these people in any way, shape, or form. They can understand the problem. They understand why people are bothered about it. And they're like, yeah, well, no, it's going to have to be more of this, I'm afraid. So it's like, right, so we're just a totem, is what they're saying. You're just a totem that I'm going to use as a battering ram against the government. Except I love the government. The government does everything I want. I actually hate the working class because they love Tommy Robinson. So why do I keep saying working class? Why can't I just bring myself to admit I'm against the working class?
Well, because it's a doctrinal crucifix at this point.
Of course.
They're using terminology from literally over 100 years ago now.
Yeah.
And they've never evolved beyond that, because the entirety of socialism is simply just a doctrine. These are flies trapped in the ointment. They don't even realize
amber. It. They're literally fossils.
And every time they turn their bodies to try to escape and they go, wow, immigration is the problem, they're just sucked back in again. Fucking Christ. Yeah, there is something remarkable about that.
I like this analogy. This is a good analogy.
Well, it is good.
It's a good analogy. I like it.
Yeah. Because they've identified the issue. They've tried on multiple occasions to verbalize the solution, and it just stops.
This is what liberal politics does, and I think it's a good example of how liberal politics divide the working class.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than seeking to unite native workers and immigrant workers against the government, these sorts of...
Oh, God, we're on this again. Okay. Right, you've managed to unite the workers and the natives and the immigrants against the government. You take down the government. There's still not enough stuff. Now what?
They're still raping my kids.
Yes.
So they don't give a shit about the rest of it. Right?
Like, okay, you take down the system, you smash the cookie. Now what? Now you've got an angry worker looking up at you like, that was my last cookie.
Yeah. And rightfully, he's angry with you.
Yeah. I trusted you. You said things would be better. 10 years later, it's only gotten worse.
Liberal slogan really pit the various group of oppressed against each other and are a gift to the right.
Yeah.
Because
groups of oppressed. Oh, yeah. The immigrants are so fucking oppressed, man. We have to pay billions for these people to live here for free. And they've got the gall to be like, oh, these people are oppressed. There are all the laws in the world to protect these people from people's negative opinions. Fuck off, mate. They're the most privileged class since the fucking aristocracy. Honestly. I don't get free money and then the government protecting me, a free place to live, and then the government protecting me from negative opinions. I'm not privy to that.
Yep. And Ripoff Productions donated $50. Thank you very much, sir. Instead of a single huge house for the whole family, just have two homes. One single-story home for the elderly and a slightly larger one for the newlyweds and their kids. Once kids grow up, parents move into the grandparents' home. It's how my family works.
Yep.
I mean, unironically, generational housing might have to be a solution, but that still doesn't solve the problem of getting the house in the first place.
Well, I mean, it's literally the reality at the moment for loads of Gen Z. Like, they just can't afford to move out.
Well, literally, the entire, like, stigmata of, like, oh, you're still living with your parents, like, as opposed to...
Yeah. As opposed to being a person on their own home. But yeah, but that's not going to happen. It's not happening anymore.
Like, ideally speaking, because we all understand renting, bad idea, unless the price of rent was significantly lower, then the best option, literally, is to live with your parents until you've built up enough of a credit rating to get the mortgage.
I mean, the thing is as well, because mass immigration in this country it's not new, but the levels that it's at now are new. Rents, I mean, I used to have like a 1-bedroom flat with a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and a bedroom. But it was £400 a month, something like that. It really wasn't that much. That's reasonable, and if you're earning a couple of grand a month, you can pay for that, have a life, and make savings out of it. But that, I mean, look at the price of everything now. That is gone, man.
Service guarantee.
They arrive in these towns and say refugees are welcome here. For a lot of people, it sounds like, well, these people want to put the needs of refugees and immigrants above our need.
Sounds like.
It's costing us billions, by the way. It's costing us billions every year. We don't even know how many billions, but it's billions. Like hundreds of billions, probably.
And that's how the government functions, right? It's divide and rule,
Especially
immigrants versus...
That's how the government... Okay. Do you think the government would be more or less stable in a homogenous nation? Because that's what he's saying now. Oh, the government is using immigrants to divide us.
Somehow it's beneficial to the government. I'm sure Keir Starmer was thrilled that 1 million people were on the streets yelling, "You're a wanker."
Exactly. Keir Starmer just had a massive demonstration against him. And you were like, oh, this is definitely a ploy from Keir Starmer. What the fuck?
What's his end game? What's the fucking plan, Keir?
Not to mention, if the government really wanted to just be more stable, you know what the government would do? It would send out messages in every newspaper tomorrow going, we're just deporting people now. We've got a random lottery that throws people with the wrong melanin out of the country. Suddenly, you'd have the most stable government in British history.
Yeah. It'd be like, you know what? We think Enoch Powell was right about everything, so we're going to deport every single one of them. People are like, oh, thank God, finally.
Fucking 96% approval rating.
Yeah, it would be literally Bacaley levels of approval.
As workers and the left's intervention, if it stays in these liberal thing, it only feeds divide and rule.
But especially when you look at, like, again, to look at Epping, like, for the most part, that was Londoners, petty bourgeois Londoners going into Epping and declaring these streets are streets. Yeah.
When it's the first time they've been there sometimes. Yeah.
The foreign
they're from
elites.
London. They're from fucking Epping, you pricks. Like, the protests in Epping were definitely locals.
Yeah.
So why are we explaining all of this? It's because this has been like the politics.
I don't know. You haven't explained anything so far.
Yeah.
For many months, many years now. And it all like coalesced into this day where I think you've seen just in the numbers the failure of the anti-racist camp, let's say, the left, the socialist camp, to really connect with the discontent in this country, and how Tommy Robinson is able to connect in a much better way than the left with the discontent in this country.
And I think actually, they have actually explained that very well. The reason is Tommy Robinson has a simple message. You don't have a message. You have no cogent response to any of this.
Well, no, that's not entirely true. Their message is the government has done nothing wrong and you need to take infinite migrants forever.
Even whilst also then saying, I hate the government and I would like to take it down.
I hate the government. I hate everything about it, except everything it does.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
really
good.
hate the government, except for all the things the government does.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. And this is the thing. Their philosophy is just not prepared to be in charge. Like, this is what I mean. It's a civilizational shit test. They have no mandate. They have no idea about what they would do if they actually won. And because they lived in such a long, fantastical period, like, oh, we're going to abolish the means of production, comrade. You're not going to do shit. What you can do is ruin everything. That's all you're capable of. And everyone knows it.
Because at the end of the day, what's so wrong in the SWP's thing that like all these people in these demo are just racist and there's nothing good. What it really fails is that what's driving these demonstration and the growth of the right is not just the it's not only the racist ideas in people's head, actually. That's the manifestation, but it's really the fact that Britain is really run down and the left is not an alternative for it because it is liberal. It has a liberal program in politics.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah, that's right.
For the last
liberal
13 minutes, you've been dancing around this solution, man. Okay, liberalism is the problem. Agreed. What is the solution?
Be more liberal.
Yeah.
But also, it's not just the rundown nature of the country, right? Don't get me wrong, that is bad, obviously. But genuinely, there is a strong ethnic component to this. People are bothered that there are so many foreigners here, making the country not Britain. That really is a genuine driver for a huge number of the people involved. He can't speak to that at all. There's nothing he can say about that.
On this fear of immigration, but also another point. So, and to get to the demo today, the demo really was organized all around these same liberal politics of like refugees are welcome here, no borders, love, not hate, and this sort of carnival of love, you know. And correspondingly, the composition of the demo was a lot of like peaceniks, a lot of like middle class elements, a lot of laborite feminists, and you know.
Crazy women and hippies. Great.
Yeah.
Not much workers. I think anyone.
Our demonstration was mostly hippies and middle-aged women. Not a laborer amongst them, of course, but...
Where were the workers? We know where the workers were because there were fucking a million of them.
Yeah, they were stood opposite, tossing beer steins at us.
Yeah, telling you to get fucked.
But labourer, I'm on your side. Look, it's written on my tent.
Yeah, look how much I love the working class and the immigrants.
Anybody that's been to that demo would realize that like there was much more workers on Tommy Robinson's side than on the left side, right? Like,
and also another thing, who they weren't on Tommy Robinson's side, of course, but also not on our side was the majority of oppressed minorities in this country.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's an intriguing notion. Right, okay, so you're refugees welcome here. Refugees welcome. We will help you, we'll help you. In your hour of need, where was Mahmoud?
Well, Mahmoud is a ward of the state. The government does everything for him. The government brought him here, the government feeds him, clothes him, makes sure that he doesn't need to get a job. Mahmoud can apply to the government and get a £25,000 car for free if he just claims, oh, I'm disabled. Now, Mahmoud, I'm sure it's far too honourable to lie to the government about his disability status. But these are all things that the government provides to Mahmoud for just being brown enough. And so why would he come and help you with anything? Why would he care? He's like, no, the government's paying for everything. Why would I do anything?
Furthermore, do you know what Mahmoud is doing as well? Whilst you're out in the streets and championing your, liberalism has failed us. Okay.
He doesn't care.
No, Mahmoud does care. Or more correctly, Sadiq Khan cares.
Sadiq Khan does care.
Sadiq Khan cares. There are now, I think I saw a number recently, there were 9 Muslim mayors in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
They're not on your side because they agree liberalism isn't the solution. They're building
Islam
mosques.
is the solution.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pushing for their rules to be enforced. They're pushing for political power. They're not going to back you up because they view you as equally as much the enemy. You are the useful idiots who have allowed them to come in.
100%.
That's why they're
100%.
not on your side. Like, the oppressed people are sharpening their knives for your backs as well.
Yeah. Please put your weapons in the mosque.
Shock, yeah, you're right. There was not a lot of, or barely any minority workers. I think a lot of them stayed home because they knew the other side would be massive. And I think they knew as well that stand up to racism wouldn't have much number and wouldn't protect themselves.
Yeah.
So that's another
exactly
thing
that.
about this demo that also shocked me. There was barely any stewards. Any, like, when the near Whitehall around Charing Cross, we started to get a lot of provocation by the right. A lot of people, they're emboldened, they're there. And there's no, like, organized force to protect the demo.
It really was a thing of
There was the police.
Yeah, you had to once again rely on the state.
Yeah. The thing you agree with in almost all ways was there to protect you.
Yes, once more, you disavow the government as you stand behind the line of yellow-vested police officers.
Fuck, it's so true, man.
The only thing protecting you from the consequences of your fucking politics.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The only thing protecting you from your own fucking politics is the government at this point.
All cops are bastards. Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea right now.
Yeah, we'll keep that one on the down low because Tommy Robinson's lads are going to kick our fucking asses. So true.
you have to
Oh,
fend for
God.
yourself, you know.
Yes, yes.
But
Can
again,
imagine
it
these
comes
guys
back to the
fending for
liberal
themselves.
politics.
Oh yeah, they would definitely stand up to a nice solid block.
You know, it really is just
Heresies
we
arrested
go
by
out, we've got
fire is the
sort of-
answer.
we're on the right side of the morals, like
Yes, exactly.
we wave our flags and all the rest of it, and
Yeah. Yeah, and also sort of
That's literally what you do, though.
Yeah.
Where's your fucking Palestine flag?
about the
Where's your
danger.
trans flag?
Mhm.
And I think another aspect of the liberal politics in these demos, the reason I think where there wasn't steward, not only was it not organized as a fight, as a we're gonna fight,
Mhm.
you know, the fascist fight, Tommy Robinson, it's like a carnival, but also stand up to racism. Their entire strategy relies on the police.
Yes. Yeah.
That was clear today. It was clear at other demos as well. They always rely on the police to escort them, to protect them from the right. And it's really this is another like liberal illusion, as if the police were on the side of like the
Well, it's-
anti-fascist.
Well, okay.
Oh, they were.
Right, so
They
your
100%
idea
were.
is we should fight and we shouldn't rely on the police. Right. Your 5,000 versus his 100,000.
Or million, probably.
Are you entirely fucking sure you want to engage in that fight?
Have you thought this through, comrade?
So if you removed the police and the overspill of the enemy protests surrounded you, what do you think? Again, the only thing protecting you from the consequence of your own actions are the people in the yellow vests.
struggle.
I don't know what
That's
they're
true,
thinking.
and it was also completely exposed today. You know?
Yeah.
Because when we actually got down near Whitehall, all the cops, they start running off because obviously there's something going on up there. So the actual demo is left
Well, yeah.
completely disarmed, you know, and not that you should look to the cops in the first place, but again, it goes to the problem of stand up to racism and how they organize it.
Yeah, you know why the police were running off? They were running off because their cordon had failed. There were so many counter-protesters that the police had to redeploy to block them from coming in and surrounding you. You were sat in a tiny cul-de-sac protected by the police.
Yeah.
As the police had to spread out to try and block the overflow from that protest.
And you got kettled in for like 5 hours.
Yeah. Like the
By the sheer
police...
scale of it.
Actually, because initially I was like, how the fuck did they ever allow these two protests to touch? And the police did
What could they
everything.
do?
Yeah, they did everything in their power, but they had massively underestimated the number of peoples. They haven't they hadn't mobilized anywhere near enough officers.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, like we've done this is like the 4th, 5th protest that we've done. The numbers were always good. Like I would say the previous ones between sort of 20 to 60, 70,000, right? So these are good numbers, but they're manageable numbers. But that's the thing. When he says, "Oh, I think there might have been 1 million there or whatever," I think he might be right. Like, because this was so fucking overwhelmingly huge that it was just like shit. I mean, like we were shocked at how many of our guys turned out. So they must have been like, "Holy shit!" Like what is going on here? It's like, yeah, what is going on here, bro? Great question. Do we have any answers to that?
It used to be kind of accepted in the socialist movement and in the left. Don't rely on the cops.
Yeah.
But stand up to racism, and I think it's linked because of they're more and more like the fact that they're growing weaker, relies more.
Well, yeah, no, that's kind of thing. When you outnumbered your opposition, you were like, attack, 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 attack. Now you're sat there, oh shit. Well, I hope they don't do what we used to do to them. That would end really poorly for us.
Yes, exactly. But I love this whole thing. It's like, why are we relying on the cops? Because you're massively outnumbered.
Yeah.
You are just so phenomenally outnumbered that you've got nowhere else to go, and you've got nothing else you can do. Like you need that. You need the consent of the Tommy Robinson people to obey the police and be kettled and be prevented from getting to you. Because if that fails, you're fucked.
Yes. Your continued existence is reliant on the police now.
More and more on the police, and that's really an indictment. And I think it also explained why a lot of minority, I think, wouldn't be interested really, who obviously don't like the police for all the racist shit that they're guilty of.
The police are the prime defenders of minorities in this country.
Yes.
Like, think of them knocking on the doors, being like, "Did you post something racist online?"
Yes.
That's the police.
That literally just happened yesterday. There was another article about that.
Yeah. It's all the time. It's all the fucking time. The idea that the police are like somehow anti-minority is just fucking, it's a joke, obviously.
Yeah. No, those are minorities. They're not there because they don't trust the police. They're busy becoming the government. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
And I think for me, another expression of these liberal politics for me was the lineup and the people endorsing these demos. So we talked about a bit the slogan, refugees are welcome here, and all that stuff, how it comes off as liberal. We talked about the police. I think who endorses these demos and who speaks at them? It was all the main leaders of the trade unions. It was also a few Labour Party MPs. So you had, I think, the head of PCS, the head of ASLEF, the head of
Diane Abbott, who brilliantly said, "We have taught violence to fascism before, and we will do so again."
Thanks for the help, Diane. I don't know what to tell you. The Spartans used to have a rule against repeated wars against their enemies, lest they teach them how to fight.
I don't think that's a problem here.
No, I guess they haven't thought about that.
The TUC, one of the representative of the TUC speaking. All these people are represent trade unions who all have called to support Keir Starmer. All called for a vote for him last year, and are all, or many of them at least, funding the Labour Party. Like Diane Abbott and John McDonnell are members of the party that is now in government.
Yeah, even now when there's this new left-wing alternative.
Barely. I mean, like, they nearly got kicked out, but yeah, he is right.
Diane Abbott and John McDonnell, they're sticking to their guns. They're not breaking for the life of them.
And so here you have endorsing it on the main platform, people who support and fund also the government.
Yeah.
You have people who defend the government. These people are literally part of the establishment.
Yes.
Yes. You are indeed the establishment. It's beginning to come home.
Yeah, he's very slowly but surely starting to creep in. It's like, wait, am I on the bad guy's side?
And so, for many people, this just confirms how the left is a defender of the status quo.
Yeah,
Yes, that the left is the status quo.
Very true. He's making some good points.
exactly that. Yeah.
So we've talked about how they come to town, refugees are welcome here, and how that comes off to people. But then add to this the fact that they're many of the organizers of these demo openly back Starmer, which is widely hated among the working class.
Yeah, everyone
And so
fucking
that's
hates
another
Starmer.
like expression of that liberal politics. And I think a big
Is that,
reason
is that liberal?
Is that liberal?
Yeah.
as to why the left is pushing people in the arms of the working people in the arms of the right.
Well, yeah, and it's also
But again,
Yeah.
you keep going. I really hate the government, but we already established the only thing protecting you from the wrath of the right wing is the government.
But also, you don't disagree with any of their policies.
You can keep saying that the government is the problem all you want, but you are the government.
it's another place where the softness of the left on the Labour lefts really is dangerous, actually, where it's so evident, like, how these things push workers towards the far right, yet the left still just can't make that break.
Yeah.
Okay, but to break to what? Right, government evil, despite you agreeing with everything the government does, right? Government evil. What are you going to do once you've broken from the evil government? What are you and your 5,000 communists going to do in the face of 250,000 people? Wow.
But also, the problem here isn't what they think, right? The problem here is metaphysical, right? They view workers, classic Marxist formulation, that the working man has no country, right? Now, that's not true. The working men have nothing but their country because they don't have wealth, luxury, or any of the rest, right? So the stability of the country itself, the culture itself, is actually what they find themselves leaning into, like appreciating, right? It's what makes their lives worthwhile, because they haven't got riches, they've got other things, non-material things, and the left is sat here going, right, okay, well, we don't see that, we're against it all, really, and so we spend all of our time attacking it. And so when Keir Starmer's like, yeah, well, refugees welcome, they're like, well, yeah, obviously refugees welcome. And it's like, yeah, but that is destroying the metaphysical thing that the working man loves. And Tommy Robinson is appealing to that metaphysical thing, saying we need to get our country back, as in the feeling of the country being safe and normal and belonging to us is what Tommy Robinson is selling to people. And he rightfully so. That's the thing that's genuinely under attack. But the communists, the materialist communists, can never see this. They've got no concept of this. And so they're like, but the foreigners are workers just like you. Don't you understand? You're in the same boat. It's like, no, they're not. They're very different. Just for reasons to which you are blind.
Yeah.
And I think we've mentioned it a few minutes ago, but workers, if you want to beat the right, you need the workers.
Workers, we need the workers. We need these mystical, mysterious workers. Okay, tell us who the workers are. I'm fucking curious.
But
tell us what the workers want.
Liberal politics, these sort of love fest, this sort of very moralist attitude toward immigration, i.e., anybody who questions it, who has concern, is a racist, is a fascist, is all this stuff. Add to that the alliance with the Starmer government. It's really pushing workers to the right.
Yes, the workers are not your allies. The workers haven't been your allies for 100 years. Now what?
Workers fucking hate you.
Like, we
Workers
really
just
need to get to the
despise you.
now what part of this fucking conversation.
Yeah, we do.
What is the answer to any of this?
Yeah.
Because right now in Britain, if you take out the Sultana and your party, put it aside for a minute, which, by the way, doesn't really exist anyway, who fights the establishment? Think of...
Tommy Robinson does.
In fact, He's the biggest warrior against the establishment at the moment by a long way.
Yeah. The right wing is
now?
fighting the establishment.
Yeah, and they've been doing it for years.
They're the
Getting
ones
quite
that are
good at it,
currently
too.
being condemned by the political elites. Tommy Robinson has been a political prisoner in England. God only knows how many fucking times.
And you guys fucking despise him. So now what?
From the standpoint of working people, who is an opponent to the ruling class, to the establishment, to the powers that be?
To you, in other words.
It's Tommy Robinson
Yes.
and
Bingo! And Nigel Farage.
Nigel
Who
Farage.
speaks
There you go.
for the
got it.
people in rundown towns whose life is shit, who have no prospect,
Yeah.
whose
Yeah.
future has been completely destroyed.
By you, yes. All the people you have hurt and ruined over the years are
I
now
love that
rallying
they've finally
around
got
your
it.
opposition.
They got it. That's it. That's exactly right.
What's the next step? Well, becoming right wingers quickly.
Yeah, no, that unironically, that's the only place they've got to go now.
It's Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage. And the whole political basis of stand up to racism, by rejecting really a class struggle approach, by refusing to oppose the government.
Okay, so there's finally the solution. The solution is class struggle. Except your classes don't exist. You are using terminology that has been outdated for 100 years. The British steel mill worker who's been laid off doesn't look at the Angolan bike repairman who supposedly...
Service guarantees.
Did you see that article, by the way, in I think The
did.
Guardian? Yeah.
I did.
The random bike repairman. And he
Yeah.
doesn't look at him and go, "Oh, fellow worker."
My brother.
No, he looks at him and goes, You're coming for my cookie, aren't you?"
Hey, what are you doing in my country?
Honestly, if stand up to racism would combine its call to fight the right with calls against the government, can guarantee you there would be more people coming.
Would it? Like, okay, here we are. We're the opposition. We hate the government. We hate the right wing. Okay, so you disavow all of the government's policies. No, we adopt all of them.
Yeah, we're not racist.
So what's your platform? Well, we want a violent revolution in England.
Well, to be fair, a few people do want that these days.
That's true. But then they go, "Oh, that's interesting. Violent left-wing revolution." Oh.
Yeah, then you've lost everyone. Yeah.
Who's going to participate? Oh, the laborers.
Yeah, you. You're the one who's going to put your ass on the line.
Like, your laborers are, like we said, tech bros. Your laborers work in an air-conditioned office. They send emails. They work for HR. They go to work wearing T-shirts like this guy. These are
Yeah.
your laborers.
Yeah, it's totally true.
By refusing to do this, they're really paving the way for their own defeat and paving the way for the right.
Definitely. And so I think we've highlighted pretty clearly the problems of stand up to racism. But
I mean, you've certainly highlighted that you don't have any solutions. That's at least true.
obviously
And you
they're
don't
not
really
the-
understand what the issue is. That's the thing.
That's
They
something.
don't really know why this is happening.
They've identified the fault line. Now they just need to break 10 years of conditioning
Probably more.
to begin approaching an answer.
only thing at this. There were a lot of other left groups there
Yeah.
beyond just us as well.
Yeah.
So were they doing something right?
Well, the problem for me with the other left group is that none of them really challenges the liberal politics which dominates the left. Some of them
Really?
openly embrace these politics. I could
Oh, yeah.
name like socialist alternative on some question, for
Mhm.
example. But others who they're not liberals. They know like liberalism in general is not like a good idea, and they claim to be Marxist. Yet they do nothing in the movement to fight the influence and the
Mhm.
dominance of liberal politics.
Okay, so Marxism is the alternative then.
Hmm.
Now, see, the problem with that is Marxism is not a platform that exists in 2025.
Are you ready
What
to
would it
run
even
this
mean?
yellow mare's
Yeah, no,
fury
exactly. Like,
utterly bummed?
you're going to go out and your platform is, I am for the laborers, the steel mill workers, the farmers, the agriculturalists. Okay. And I need them to unionize. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to collectivize the means of production. What Microsoft Word? Like my email provider. What are you talking about? What means of production are you fucking on about, bro?
Yeah.
Like I work on a laptop.
And like even the farmer, like, okay, you're for farmers. All right, I'm listening. What are you going to make it do so I can buy seeds more cheaply?
The government's going to take control of your combine harvester.
Yeah.
I don't want them.
Listen here, brother. You know that tractor you own? Yeah. Well, that's the property of the state now. How does that help me? Us, brother. It helps us.
It's literally the stone toss memes. Like, help me. Like, what do you mean? I'm busy fulfilling the promises of Marxism. I'm not worried about helping you.
It literally is. You leave your tractor, and it's like, oh, fantastic. I've taken control over your tractor now. Meet Mahmoud. He's going to be driving your tractor from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, why do I want that?
How will this benefit me? Well, you'll get a share of the farm's profits when we're done. But I own the
used to get
farm.
all of it. Yeah. Not anymore, son. You're literally a kulak now, so you know.
Yeah, you used to own the farm. Be glad we don't treat you like the other farm owners.
Exactly.
Like, literally, Marxism has no platform today other than the class struggle. And the classes they call upon to struggle don't fucking exist.
And hate them. Where they do exist, they fucking hate you.
And its destructive impact really on the left.
Maybe let's make that a bit more concrete. So let's take the Revolutionary Communist Party, for example.
Oh, yes, please do. Let's get concrete about that.
The most relevant party in Britain. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, what was wrong with that intervention today?
Well,
They had
a lot of
What?
slogan about how it's the capitalists that gutted the NHS and gutted social services, whatever.
Gutted? What the
I
fuck
don't
do
know
you
what
mean
they're
gutted?
talking about. Our social services have never had more funding.
Yeah, no, they're bloated, but they still can't deal with the amount of new people.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they've been gutted. You've been gutting them by overloading it.
Yeah.
But here's the
I
thing.
mean,
we went into that.
this just a quick thing as well. This is a narrative you'll hear socialists in this country saying. It's like, look, the funding is all very public. We can see how much money they make. It's never been high. You can plot it on a graph over time, and it's just up. Obviously, 100% up. And it's just like, why? Okay, whatever.
Demo, we can talk a little bit about our intervention. We tried to build a pole of militancy inside that demonstration, and we had a banner with slogans reading smash racist thugs, reject Farage.
Okay, so your position is charge the people that outnumber us fucking 100 to 1. I mean, I'm all for it, brother.
So funny. But smash racist thugs. What, you mean the working class have all turned up for Tommy? Yeah, those racist thugs. Oh, what? Why aren't they with us? Why are they with Tommy? It's so ridiculous.
No, I am all for this more militant left wing. Please do.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny.
I would love to see these two people leading the charge against a wall of fucking gammons. Do it.
Question. Fire is the answer.
And break with Starmer, which is really a message to the unions. We wanted to put opposition to Starmer and combine with slogans against the fascists. We had slogans as well against Starmer. But we also had another banner which read, ditch the liberals, win the worker, which is sort of our
Workers' hammer.
front
Amazing.
page. We had this banner. And our whole intervention was to try to really sort of polarize this demonstration in a certain way and show concretely how liberal politics is an obstacle to fight the right, really.
Okay, so we're finally going mask off. The answer is political violence. That is what they're saying. They need to be violent. They need to attack the opposition physically. Okay, I'm sure that will definitely convince the working class. I will definitely build a much better society. Yeah, totally.
Also, I mean, all of Tommy guys are just going to come straight over to you. Like, yeah, no, we are just for the working class in a way that we can't properly explain to you what benefits this will give you. Tommy's very clear, as you said. Tommy's like, yeah, we're going to get rid of millions of foreigners.
We are going to raise your wages. How are you going to achieve that? Through some complicated economic scheme? Through socialism? No, I'm just going to kick 9 million people out of the country.
Yeah, whereas literally these guys are appealing to magic at this point.
Yeah. How will you ensure that I get a whole apple? I'm going to take the apple other half away from the other guy.
But this does not feature in the intervention of the RCP, as far as I know. Actually, I didn't look carefully at their contingent, but was there any slogan sort of seeking to polemicize openly or openly against the politics of stand up to racism and the SWP? Not that I know of, which is even more damning because RCP members, they know that liberalism and these kind of politics are toxic. They know that screaming refugees are welcome here and all that stuff doesn't do anything to fight the far right. Actually, they written in their past newspaper, they have a tiny polemic against the stand up to racism on this question, which is correct, by the way, but it's small, but it doesn't feature in their intervention. Yet the role of communists, I think, at this point, and I think September today has to be a wake up call, like wake the F up.
Yeah.
We need to have a fight in the left. We can't go on like this. That has to be the main thing. If we just continue being like hippie dippy liberals and marching under these slogans, the right is going to continue growing. It's going to look, these demos really make the left look unserious and really hippy dippy rather than.
I mean, okay. I like the solution. Wage an internal war against one another. It's a great start. And then you take the scattered, bloodied remnants, and then you charge the 100,000 people over there.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with this.
How could this fail?
This seems like the perfect solution to all of Britain's problems right here.
Moreover, I'm totally in favor of it. Go ahead, retards. I mean,
oh yeah,
comrades.
This is fantastic.
Being what we should be, class struggle fighter, appeal to the class interest against the government. This doesn't mean, like, I know people are going to accuse us maybe of pandering to the right because we talk about the liberals, but the reason why a lot of workers are attracted by the right is because the right denounces the liberals all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes they do have a point from the opposite side of the
Yep.
My brother in Christ, you are the fucking liberals too. You agree with everything about the liberals. Oh yeah, I'm anti-racist. I'm pro-refugee. Yeah, then you're the problem.
You ignorant slut.
Wrongly, sure.
Yeah.
But like, if you're a working person and your life's just being driven down and down and down,
Yeah.
and the only serious opposition is Farage, of course you're gonna fucking look there.
Like,
Like,
if the other side is all peace and love and no, there's no concern about immigration, you're a racist if you said that. And oh yeah, John McDonnell and Diane Abbott, the Labour MPs who support Starmer. Well, no wonder. Like, they're going to look to Tommy Robinson and to Farage. Like,
and the alternative are these guys who say, okay, you're a racist and a fascist, now let's fight.
But also, they're like, yeah, they are conceding there is a concern with immigration, but they are literally, like you said earlier, absolutely opposed to doing anything about it.
Oh yeah. They're 100% stuck. Like, they cannot break free from their liberal moral assumptions, their doctrine. They can't. There's no way out of it.
Yeah, they agree with the libs on everything.
Yeah. I mean, they've only now, so 20 minutes, they spent 20 minutes identifying the problems and stopping. Like their brains couldn't finish the thought. And now finally they've gotten to what they think, and they think is, oh, let's just attack people.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to fight. I mean, that's clearly how the revolution will be won, comrade.
I think this is, it's very frustrating because it's kind of obvious in a certain sense, but at the same time, I know I know how it's hard sometimes to get out of that political framework that frames these demos. But we have to use today as a wake up call. Whatever we've been doing doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whatever has been done doesn't work. It needs to change, or else, like time is sort of ticking. Because there's one point as well. Like, we were not really facing fascists today.
yeah,
There were
that's important,
fascists.
yeah.
There were fascists.
Oh, that's good.
There's
We're
another
facing
important
fascists today.
realization.
That's totally true, comrade. You were not facing
Are
fascists.
you ready to rut this
Who were you facing, comrade?
But it wasn't like organized actual fascists really there to like bash us. It was like a right wing upsurge. But like, it will come. This is only the beginning.
Well, I think that's important to note because if
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so the whole raise the flag movement in England, I speculated that that there was going to lead to street brawls, because that's what often happens when you have two groups that carry their banners. One is trying to put them up, one is trying to take them down, right? It has been surprisingly peaceful. And that is because the right wing doesn't need a street brawl to defeat you. It has the majority. It simply needs to make it clear and then make it an inevitability by forcing political action. That is what the right wing needs to do. It doesn't have to fight you. It would win in a fight, and consider it a fucking mercy that they don't.
Yeah, that's totally true.
This was fascists that we were dealing with today. Like, if the majority were fascists, then we'd all be leaving in stretchers, you know.
Another fucking great point, isn't it?
Yeah, not wrong.
It's like, if we were actually opposite 100,000 fascists, perhaps things would have gotten worse.
Yeah, we really thank our lucky fucking stars.
To put it mildly.
Yeah.
And some a lot worse than that.
Yeah. So it's really terrifying for minorities in particular, but for everybody that is looking at this country where
The minorities
the
don't give a
fucking
shit.
Minorities. Yeah, they don't care. But like
Yeah.
the sacred minorities, dude, shut the fuck up.
They were nowhere to be seen, as you yourself said. They were at home.
where is it going?
Not giving
And
a
it really
shit.
requires a massive political change on the left. And again, we're repeating ourselves, but the problem is to be found in liberalism.
Yeah.
And I think what would be good for, the other left group you mentioned, what would be good is that next time we need to organize ourselves beforehand.
Yeah.
And build an actual block that can actually stand up to the far,
Yeah.
to the right.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like, to take the Revolutionary Communist Party as an example, the RCP.
Also, these two are very openly calling for political violence right here.
Yes,
I thought there were laws against this in England, but
there are, but they don't apply to the left.
that's true.
A lot of what they like. You're right. They can point out a lot of the flaws in stand up to racism, but they have to actually provide that poll against it as well, and that's what's missing.
Yeah.
And so, it's fine to be critical, but unless you're actually going to back that up, it doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah. I just want to conclude on demoralization. I'm sure there are many people who are sort of defeated a bit after today.
I myself,
yeah. Like today wasn't fun.
No.
Like let's be real. But it's normal in a certain sense. Like we lost, and I don't have really good messages of like, oh, things are gonna get worse, before they get better. That's our thing, and that's what we've been writing, by the way, for a few years now as part of this. Like things are gonna get tough. They're getting tough. However, I think the one hope and the one thing we can channel our energies with, because we're not gonna give up. Giving up is always wrong. We need to fight for a change and a reorientation in the left. And the Your Party thing of Sultana and Corbyn does offer an opening for this. It will be a disaster if it's based on liberal politics. However, there is sort of an opportunity here to channel our energy into building something different. And building something different, you need to learn the lesson of what went wrong. And I think it's really, that's why our main thing is about ditch the liberals, win the worker. We think this is really the root cause of the impotence of the left. And I really urge people to read, our front page article, as well as we have specifically an article, How Not to Fight the Far Right, which was written a few days before today's demo, which, by the way, predict as well that it wouldn't.
God, that is some dense fucking text.
Can you even imagine wanting to read that?
I can only imagine the amount of cope and circular thinking involved.
Work out well, and explains in more depth.
Fucking look at that. That is brilliant looking.
I will undertake this arduous journey to read this leftist meme.
What we've just discussed.
Yeah.
And I think this is the only way we have, really, because there is a potential for a left force, which, if it is able to connect with those workers who today look to the right, if it is able to connect the plight of immigrants, the plight of workers based on class struggle against the ruling class, there is actually a possibility to change the direction of this country.
But this is the problem for the left.
Yeah.
Unless you actually confront the liberals, break from the liberals, you have no chance of reaching the working class. To do all the nice things we want to do, that is the starting point. There is no other way to do it.
Yeah. On those words.
All right, so you just need to ditch the left whilst maintaining all of the values of the left. Somehow convince the working class that you are not the left, and then fight the fascists.
To fool them into voting for you or joining your club.
Well, the thing is, what they're actually saying here is correct. That is what the left has been doing. The left, up until this point, has been using intelligentsia, in essence, the institutions, to hide their intents. It is to use words like anti-racism and have that mean socialism and trick people into going, oh, you're just against racism. Well, so am I. That is what they've been doing. These guys are now going, oh, that hasn't worked. No, it's because they've seen through the ruse. The reason why people are rejecting your messaging isn't because they're rejecting the liberal part of the message, anti-racism. It's because they're rejecting this socialist part of the message. That is why you saw Tommy Robinson demonstrators go up to like street booths and grab a bit of Indian food or whatever to eat, because they don't hate him because he's brown. They hate him because he's been brought in to fucking replace them by the government.
It's literally the case, yeah.
Yeah. So your idea of radicalizing is, I don't know how to break it to you, but it isn't going to win over the working class.
I just can't help but feel that this might be a mistake, you know what I mean, from the socialist point of view. Just saying.
Yes. This is you who have built your entire idea on a doctrine of being the wolves in sheep clothing, throwing off the sheepskin, and then going to argue with the dog about why you should be allowed to take over the fucking sheep.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Trick or treat. Can I smell your feet?
This was a pretty brilliant video, although it also hurt me on multiple levels.
Well, I personally really enjoyed it. I personally thought it was very, very useful. You know, like, I love it when masks come off and they just tell you everything you knew, but they would never, you know, come out and admit. Like, it's good when you get like an honest accounting from the foe, you know,
Yeah.
where they're just like, oh, fucking hell, we got crushed. Like, we're fucked. You know, we don't have anything they want. It's like, no, you don't. That's correct. Everyone hates you. Go away.
Right, let me start in on the super chats then.
Mm.
The Space Cowboy, remember when we win that these people want you dead. They want your children brainwashed, and they think it's funny. Sam Hyde, probably.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
That is Sam Hyde, I think, yeah.
Shake Silver, I'd posit that the long march through institutions was never a success for the left. The liberal state just absorbed them to quell revolt. See, Occupy,
No,
Science Climate,
they
while
were
leftist the system. Balance now. Liberals, Swiss right wing, they won't submit.
No, they were successful. They got
Yeah.
what they wanted.
They did. It's just that the ruse didn't work well enough. Again, the assumption was that the ruse would bring them into power, and then from a position of power, they would bring about socialism. And then people would see, oh, socialism is great.
People realize socialism's shit.
Yeah, because phase one worked. They tricked people into getting into power. Phase two, they got into power. They became the accepted politics of the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started to implement socialism, and phase three never happened because everything turned to fucking garbage.
Yeah. Everyone's like, well, this was bad. Why did you do this?
Yeah. We tried it your way. It was a terrible fucking way. Now let's do something else again.
Yeah.
Lothar, since you guys got in on philosophy and faith, I must recommend you guys have a chat with Dr. David Wood, a doctor in philosophy and high-functioning psychopath with a love for crushing Islam.
I don't know if he'd describe himself as a psychopath, would he?
I don't know.
I like Dr. Wood. He's good.
Baron von Stargard, I for one accept Destiny's term that only right-wingers are thinking beings with moral agency, and thus only right-wingers can ever be trusted with power.
Did Destiny say that to me?
That's,
So I'm not saying he's wrong.
yeah, that's an unusual but, you know, solid point from Destiny there. Lord Metalman sent my email to GW today, Art, and sent the call out to my Discord and quoted you on X to spread the word. Hope it makes GW leaders sweat a bit. I hope so too. I really do. Base Hillbilly, actual labor here, lumberjack. Anyone wants to increase the state income tax or number of bureaucrats is my enemy.
No kidding. Mine too.
Yep. I mean, because that's the other thing too, right? All actual laborers know that the thing that's impacting them the most is the state right now. It's more and more
Bureaucracy.
regulations. Yes.
Oh, I'm so sick of it. And taxes.
Yes. There was so Germany built a new plant for making artillery rounds, right? And it produces like 200,000 rounds a year. Fucking nothing.
Yeah, that's
And
not much.
I looked into the plant, and it's all safety measures. Every fucking inch of the plant is riddled with safety measures. And so, you know, the laborers, they can't lift things and place them physically. They need to install special cranes to prevent, like, back stress. Everything needs, like, large areas walled off so that nobody can get hurt, etc. And it's all of that is good, but it's like 50% more than anything that is actually required.
How is it we managed to make weapons without all of these regulations in the past, you know?
Yeah.
Like, weapon manufacture is done by Angela Merkel. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah, it's a weapon manufactured by bureaucracy, where everything is inefficient. Everything is covered, drowning in red tape.
Yeah.
And so you end up with a system where everyone is inconvenienced, nothing is working well, everything is going slow, and it's nowhere near what you need it to be.
Yep.
Inquisitor Media, you can tell the leftists are broken by the fact that they only got 5k commies together for their anti-Trump rally yesterday, despite Narinda's gaslighting.
Yeah, I mean, like, you are right. They are broken, basically, because there's no argument, right? Because their argument would have to be, we need more of the same. It's like, but that's why we're in this position in the first place.
Yeah.
Why would more of the same be in any way good? And it's very demoralizing for them. Like, they're looking at the result of their own moral philosophy.
And it is very telling as well. Like you mentioned USAID. USAID is defanged. Suddenly, left-wing protests can't turn out anywhere near the same numbers.
Yeah, suddenly it's just Socialist Workers' Party doing what they can. It's like, where's the money from, bros?
What a strange coincidence.
Yeah, really weird.
Monia Martinson Booker for $50. Sorry, I missed that one when you first donated. I apologize. Hello, my fellow Norwegian. Not many people can rally me to a cause, but you are one of the privileged few. Good job in mobilizing us to charge down the email inbox of TW. Hope a lot of us take the time to rage against the servants of woke.
Yep. Remember, you might be like, oh, but I'm playing my game. No, just pause the game. Go and get it done. Just send them an email and say, look, I'm really unhappy with this. I'm a long-term customer, not happy about what's happening here. I want you to do something about it.
Yep. I listed the emails. I gave you a suggestion for a form email to send. Takes you 5 minutes tops, and you will have an effect.
And literally, you know, if a few hundred people do it, you can, you know, and you just got to assume everyone else is doing it as well. You don't want to be left out. You want to be part of the push. And it will definitely, I mean, if nothing else, it'll be in their minds, you know, it'll be on their radar. They'll be like, oh shit, what's happening?
Yes. Even if just everyone who watches right now does it, that's 2,400 emails.
How many people have you got watching?
2,400.
Bloody hell, I didn't realize we had that many people watching.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going?
That's a lot of emails. That is a lot of fucking emails.
I'll tell you what, right? Normally, I bet they normally get hundreds of emails a day. If they got 2,400 emails on the same subject in a day, they'd be like, fucking hell, we have pissed off a huge number of people here.
Yeah. And again, it's not like we're asking for anything weird or unacceptable here. We're just saying, okay, you have, as a company, repeatedly said political extremism bad. All right, prove it.
Yeah. Warhammer is for everyone. So why is this guy cheering for the death of someone?
Yeah, literally. Warhammer is for everyone.
That's not very fucking inclusive, is it? That makes me feel unsafe going to your stores, knowing that you harbor people like this in your workforce. And they'll be like, well, hang on a second. That sounds like our bottom line.
Yep.
What will the shareholders think?
Steel Manning, I've given up on trying to convince leftists of anything. Only experience changes minds, and the leftists are finally having an awakening. And they are,
great,
too. Like,
Yeah.
all of their talking heads are freaking out right now.
Sam Piker is shitting himself. It's so good. All those years calling for people to be killed. And suddenly he's like, well, me? You can't deplatform me. You know, Elon Musk is tagging Jeff Bezos. Sam's fucking freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Get what you fucking deserve, Hassan.
Ben Sinex, the actual workers of the UK now see through the left's lies. You can see
100%.
that with the switch to Tories and Reform in 2019, 2024, respectively. Labour only won due to vote splitting. Well,
Yeah, that's exactly correct. People, like, genuinely, everyone hates the Labour Party. Everyone hates them.
yeah, and because people were just disenchanted with the Tories. Like, the reason why Labour won was more because people were punishing the Tories rather than any leftward swing, because the Tories proved to not be the party that was needed.
If all the Tories had to do is not betray the country,
Yeah.
that's all they had to do. If they'd just gone, yeah, no, we're actually going to do the thing that you've elected us to do. We're just going to do it. You want this, you know, it's the right thing to do. You clearly want this, you know, people would reward them. The entire North would be hardcore Tory territory if they just was like, yeah, no, we're going to end immigration. We're going to start mass deporting people. That's all they had to do. And the North would be, you know, Tory stronghold forever.
Yep. Andrew Knapp, even now, we aren't calling for arrest every leftist. We're calling for enforcement of the law already on the books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the right is not calling for anything unreasonable at all.
No. When a leftist comes out like Jimmy Kimmel and starts lying about how good it is, this all happened. Yeah, no, that person is not acceptable. Sorry. This is meant to be a civil society, isn't it?
Yeah. To the chickens, boomer end on this. State enforced Israel support.
Well, yeah.
Kojad, we are against cancel culture. We are for consequences. Yep. Again, like, this didn't happen overnight. The left dragged the right, kicking and screaming to this position. And now suddenly, they're, oh, why did we do this? This is really hurting us. Yeah.
Also, it's not like the right is being indiscriminate in this.
No.
The right isn't like finding random people on Facebook and be like, right, make this person lose their job, which is what the left did.
Uh-huh.
Right? What the right is doing is finding political activists who spent their time getting random people on Facebook deplatformed and being like, right, you're a teacher, are you? Right, I'm sending it across, because the left can't hide their own political activism. We know who they are by the way they identify themselves. So it's like, okay, fine, but trust us, you know, you made this fucking bed and you're going to sleep in it.
Uchigador, our side are better at cancelling, their side better at propaganda. Well, that's the thing. Propaganda to a certain extent, but the reason why we are doing so much better is because they have to write a book on why a person needs to be cancelled. They need to extrapolate why something is racist. We can simply point to somebody cheering for the political murder of an enemy and say, that's pretty fucking shitty. Don't you agree?
This bad, isn't it, Games Workshop?
Yeah. We don't need to explain. I don't need to extrapolate. I don't need to write a fucking essay on why celebrating the death of a man is a bad thing. I can just say, oh, look, he's being a douchebag. Think that's okay? And everyone goes, no. Brian in PNW, liberals, the proletariat must rise. Proletariat start to rise up, liberals, not like that.
That's literally what's happening, yeah.
Mercury product, the left could have God himself come down and the left could have God himself come down, chastise them, and they would still find a way to blame the right.
Yeah, it's anything other than taking accountability for themselves, really. It's always been this way.
Marksman, Sargon, Art, federal historian, made a new video about Starship Troopers called Service Isn't the Point. Goes with the idea that Heinlein presents that not everyone should have the right to vote. Interested in your thoughts on his breakdown.
I haven't seen it.
Fun. I haven't either. The damned man doesn't have social media or email or anything, so I haven't been able to get a hold of him because I like his stuff. I like to bring him on sometime.
But I mean, I agree that obviously some people shouldn't have the vote, which is why you want a barrier that determines who can and can't vote. And you
Yes.
need a way of judging who is worthy of voting is, in fact, service.
And that is what the service is. It's a mechanism
Yeah.
with which to separate the chaff from the wheat.
Yes.
And in this case, to find a very specific kind of individual.
Yes.
Again, the service. Again, he's correct. The service isn't the point. The point is to find the person who would make for the better voter.
Yes.
Hexy, the boot will stay on until morale improves.
Yeah.
Frog Jupiter, my first principle is the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If the left wants to cancel, who am I to deny them what they want? Yeah. I mean,
I'm
it's
just all in favor of giving people what they ask for.
after all these years, the only thing that has managed to get the left to say cancel culture bad is applying cancel culture to the left.
I mean, listen to this from Chris Hayes. It's just popped up on my timeline, right? In Kimmel getting fired, he's like, this renders the First Amendment meaningless. When Tucker got fired, he said, quote, he believed he could say anything, no matter how disgusting, and get away with it. Over time, that's not going to work out well for you. Fuck you. Just fuck you.
Yeah. Normal man, commies being scared and grossed out by working people will never not be funny. Commies be like, I support working people. Ew, a working person.
Yes. They're all with Tommy Robinson and racist. Fuck yourselves.
Nickel Necko, ever seen a Hyperborea edit? The left can't even do a propaganda better. They just own the mainstream. Also watch when Citadel stream.
Yeah, they just own more than we do.
Yep. They've never been very good at it. That guy, Gus, gents, might want to talk to Dev. He's claiming the right is more dangerous than the left, saying they're more violent and evil than even with Kirk factored in. He's starting to play with fire. Listen, Dev is in his own bubble.
He can just be wrong on this.
Yes, he can just be wrong on this.
Yeah.
I am not
No one
Dev's
believes
keeper. He's just the Dev, and he's dug himself into a corner.
Yeah.
See, and I even in part admire Dev's idea. Dev's idea is absolute neutrality, cancel culture for nobody. And I'm like, okay, that would be great, but we're not in that position. We tried that position for 10 years and we achieved nothing. Now we have achieved more in a week of right-wing cancel culture than 10 years of argumentation against the left.
But again, like this isn't just arbitrary cancel culture. We're in the middle of a fight and we're winning. And Dev's like, no one should be fighting. It's like, well, they started it.
Yeah. It's like, I agree that nobody should be fighting, but I'm going to keep punching him until he stops punching me.
Yeah. Yeah. Until they're rendered toothless and unable to hurt us, we've got to keep fighting.
Yes. That is the simple nature of the situation.
Yeah.
And
we didn't
exactly.
choose this. And Dev knows we didn't choose this.
It is not cancel culture. It is consequence culture. Correct?
Yeah.
Wilson the Terrible, when Destiny talked about wanting the right to be afraid, he doesn't understand how the right thinks. We're primed to value self-sacrifice, so the idea of being persecuted doesn't actually work.
Completely true.
Destiny's entire point, too, like, the right needs to be afraid, so they'll ask their talking heads to turn down the temperature. No.
That's not how that works. Yeah.
The right is already afraid. That's the entire reason. With Irenia and Charlie, the right saw itself. These were two fairly normal people being killed for either a political reason or no fucking reason whatsoever. And so the right will look at that and go, okay, we're not safe. And our option, if, as Destiny puts it, being surrender or die, they're going to choose the third option, which is no, you die.
And the thing is, I'm not even afraid for myself necessarily. Like, I'm afraid for my family. I'm afraid for the people I love. Like, I can probably take care of myself. I'm worried about them.
Yeah. Bass player, a reminder there was really only one French Revolution. The rest of them, including the one that Les Mis is based on, were a bunch of cafe uni students and Jacobins complaining about nothing. And they were also crushed, I want to point out.
Based.
Like, successful revolutions are beyond rare. They're like slave revolts. They just don't happen.
Very rare.
Humble Creeksman, Arch, can we have a history lesson stream on Pike and Shot from you? Maybe together with Mr. Benjamin. Archcat Fund.
You know, I don't know much about Pike and Shot. It's one of those historical epochs where when gunpowder came around, I was just like, wow, it's less interesting now.
Pike and Shot is the single most active period of military history, bar like the Second World War. Like, strategy and tactics changed near consistently and constantly.
Yeah.
Like, it was in many ways the first, like, modern war when it came to this. And it was largely, amusingly, based not on new ideas, but rediscovery of Roman military manuscripts. And so people still started reading the classics. They started reading about Alexander, about Caesar. Military education became commonplace in these. And so people thought, okay, well, a Roman legion sounds fucking great. What if I make a Roman legion? And then they did.
Like a Roman legion?
And it worked. And somebody else was like, oh, but what about a phalanx? And they made a phalanx, and it worked. Oh, but now we've got guns too. What if I put guns in the phalanx?
Oh, that sounds like a good idea too, yeah.
Yes. The Duke of Orange actually created a unit of super heavy infantry in the style of the Roman Legion. An entire unit of people wearing full body plate armor with shot-proof shields, like 3 inches thick, that would stop bullets, and swords. He deployed these in test battles against pike units, and they fucking stomped them completely.
What would the pike units even do?
Yeah, they were useless. Like they rolled right over them. The only reason he didn't put them into praxis was because it was too exhaustive. Fighting in that much armor, the best trained soldier had like endurance of like 10 minutes, and they were fucked.
But I bet it was also hugely expensive.
Oh, enormously so. Like a single unit costs more than like several pike and shot units. But it was an incredibly useful. It was technically very good. You just needed to, make fucking superhuman Ubermensch to do it. The Kirk tragedy revealed the political war for existence. You cannot reason with somebody cheering your literal death and excusing the political murder. There are no fences to sit on with liberals. Yeah, and I think that hammered home to a lot of normal people, because the normal people were like, oh, you're exaggerating. The left doesn't want us dead.
Oh, no. If only we were exaggerating, eh?
Yes.
And that's the thing, a lot of people are like, genuinely, I think there's a wide eye sort of, oh, right, on this.
Yeah. First, you see the lawless nature of reality with Irenia, and people are like, holy fuck, that happens?
Yeah.
And then a political assassination in the full open, and a graphic one at that. It pushed people over the edge.
Yeah.
Quietus, if the UK actually gets the country back, all police cannot say that on YouTube. Although we might indeed need some Nuremberg trials about following orders. Trevor N., look up the Battle of Athens, Tennessee, 1946. Dankula did a great video on it. Keep up the good work, lads. And Troubleshooter, Abandoned Children.
I haven't seen it.
Me neither. I wish I had more time to fucking watch stuff on YouTube. I really do.
Yeah, that's my problem. It's not that I don't want to. It's when do I have the fucking time to watch anything?
Magnus Toth, butcher's apron is a pejorative term used to refer to the Union Jack. I recall reading something years ago in which Indians used it. Wikipedia mentioned the term was very popular with the Irish.
Yeah, but I don't think that was what he was using it as.
Ballcraft, the means of production are in China.
Yeah, literally. like.
That's a very good way of putting it, actually. You want to seize the means of production? Okay, China's that way.
Yeah, have fun.
Sandoom, I've been seeing several people, senators, celebrities, and others known lefty people calling Trump authoritarian, with people being fired or cancelled. They can eat lemons for all I care. Oh yeah, again, if I was America, I would say that this is exactly what I voted for. Simple as.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like what? He's enforcing consequence culture on the left? He's making Antifa a terrorist organization? Good.
God, yeah. I mean, making Antifa a terrorist organization, that alone deserves Trump in some sort of Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that itself is just so good because they are, and they always have been. And it's about fucking time someone, accepts that they are fucking terrorists.
Yeah. But now also action needs to be taken because the left is like, oh, there's no such thing as Antifa. They're not an organization. No. They have headquarters. They have websites.
Yeah.
They have physical buildings. They have registered addresses. Raid
And you've
them.
been cheering them on for years. Like, what were you cheering this whole time if they're not a thing?
Sandoom, a quote from Tim Pool to the people who cheered for what happened to Charlie Kirk and them getting fired. I don't care. You killed my friend. Yeah, like, really. That is a good way of pulling. I don't care. You killed my friend.
Yeah.
Any appeal to moderation or mercy at that point is kind of moot.
So I've got a clip on my timeline at the moment of Hassan Piker wishing Asmongold well because his dad died, and it's like, Hassan, you think for a fucking second anyone takes your well wishing seriously? Like you think anyone believes you actually think that? You spent your entire fucking career calling for all right wingers to be killed. Fuck yourself.
Yep. R.I.P. to Asmon's dad, by the way, too. It's never nice, never fun.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm very sad that Asmongold lost his father, but I don't believe for a fucking second that Hassan Piker is.
It's a tragic moment in anyone's lives.
Yeah, it's awful. Like when my dad goes, I'm gonna be fucking ruined, man. I'm gonna be
Oh
useless
God,
for a fucking week.
I do not want to fucking think about that because it's my dad too is getting old and he's not healthy either. And like, just even thinking about what I'm gonna do then is just fucking. Yep.
I mean, I'm lucky. My dad's in good health. He's always been a fit and active guy, and so he walks his dog every day, twice a day, and so he's always got lots of exercise. But you can't live forever.
You can't.
I have.
Grant Nick, currently making adjustments to my barrel, Polish NATO AK, live in America. Live in America. Good. Walking Corpse, leftists think they can make a perfect world. Why would they care about little things like actual people? Yep.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, they seem to have finally realized that they need those people for their perfect world. Ballcraft, step 1, revolution. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, workers' utopia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if only we get violent, the workers will be on our side. No, the workers will be hitting you over the head with a stick. Bass Player, 2011, iffy. They are a bunch of useful idiots. Revolution for revolution's sake, and they fail to realize they will be the first if they succeed. Yep. Anno document, about an hour late. We'll catch up. Afternoon, gents. Afternoon to you too, sir. Skeeky has been a member for 13 months, and then YouTube does its fucking reload thing because YouTube's $1 trillion servers can't fucking keep my chat alive. I wonder if we get some versions of All Cultures Are Beautiful from these two dum-dums. They didn't even go there. I think they know that the ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Night Shout, insert Patrick, we saved the city meme here. Or Chickador, with that no savage, you can't attack is where I will give the British World Police better than the US World Police. US generally say fine, just do it quietly. Yeah. The British having the balls to say, no, you can't enslave one another, was a great service to humanity.
You're welcome.
Easy E, skilled immigration is a myth. If a job requires a license or certification, nations only recognize their own licenses, so they either work below their skill or go back to school raising prices.
Oh, this is a huge problem with nurses and doctors as well. Like we have imported thousands of foreign nurses and doctors, and you can imagine the quality of care we're getting out of them.
Yep. Night Shroud, it's about the cakes and the eating and the stuff. Valon, I donate my second cookie to the cause of my own free will. Enjoy your cookie art. Thank you for the cookie. I enjoyed the cookie. Sujar, Destiny's YouTube channel has been demonetized. Question, if people expect to get their stolen land back, what happens about the society on the land? Well, it's wiped out.
Has Destiny's channel been demonetized? Is it?
I don't know. He says so.
Oh, well, there we go. I guess you can only call for people to be killed for so long. But even then, like, you know, I got demonetized for telling a joke. Destiny, you know, it took long enough, but fucking hell, he's been doing this for years.
Yeah. Because I know that he does stream on YouTube, and he does stream on Kick, and I would like to see his monetization taken away on all of those platforms, preferably.
Well, yeah, it's live by the sword, die by the sword, isn't it?
Sluxon Doppelganger, no prosecution or liquidization, period. I'm not quite there yet. I don't think I'll ever be quite there. Mason Miller, Art, I don't know if it's wise to call for Hassan to get the same consequences he's called for others to get. YouTube doesn't like that kind of statement. That's true.
Well, we're of course not calling for any violence.
I am wishing for Hassan to not suffer the fate that he calls so vehemently upon others, because that would be barbaric.
And that's the thing. One thing you forget is just how extreme these guys have been as well. Like, you'll notice that no one on the right ever does this sort of stuff. And when they do, it's like, you know, it's Sam Hyde joking that he's going to come and beat up or kill Hassan Piker at his house. Everyone knows that's a bit and it's a joke. But, like, Sam Hyde had been demonetized and deplatformed from everything forever. Like, it's not like Sam Hyde, you know, is just like a normal fucking social media influencer.
Mm-hmm. Sujad, who gets the value of the modern society on the stolen land? Well, they live in the ruins. Mercenaries 21, so Trump declared Antifa and the paymasters terrorists. The hammer is about to strike. It is war. Also, Canada government connected to Kirk assassin. There's been a lot of crazy conspiracies around that. I'm not going to believe any of it until I see some serious fucking proof.
Yeah, I fucking hate conspiracy theories, man.
Leo of the Red. I think we here in the US are on the road to a national divorce. I think it's going to depend on the federal response and how effective it is. Yeah, no, genuinely. I think that so long as consequences are actually seen as happening, I think that will actually satisfy a lot of people. Like, I think people
the
are
left
happy
have to be punished. They have to be punished.
That's the thing. Once they see that, oh, bad shit is actually punished, people can then calm down and trust that the punishment will be forthcoming.
Yeah. The system has to serve both sides, basically. And at the moment, it's up until now, the system has only been serving the left. And that's how they liked it. And it's like, nope. Unacceptable.
Krieger? Yeah, the current generation is screwed. My dad bought our house for $150,000 in 2001, and it was just reassessed at $650,000.
Oh, hell. Well, good for him.
Yep. But no, house prices have gone absolutely fucking insane. And for those who have property, that's nice. I mean,
well, not always, because you got remortgage. Oh shit.
Yep. But like the family company has a industrial building that has, I think, tripled in value over the course of 20 years because there's no land. There's nowhere to build. There's no other buildings. And even if you do have the land, you've got to go through like 6 years of bureaucracy to get permissions to do anything with it.
Yep.
And so property prices are just fucking exploding everywhere. Like, property prices in Norway has been on, on like upward swing for something like 30 years now. It just doesn't stop.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And as the cost of living also increases and real wages don't really at any point keep up. Yeah. Wyatt, the best way in America is to join the military. You get a very nice 0 down first time home alone. Sometimes you have to become the stormtrooper. I mean, that is true. Andrew McGraw, how do we sell sacrifice to Moloch? We could just not worship Moloch. No, let's lead the parents aside and drown out the screams. That'll do it. Yeah, you could just not be a communist. That is an option.
Well, yeah.
Alex Blackburn, hey boys, good news. I'm 29, been working 10 years and just moved into my first home after 3 years of renting with my partner. 270k for a 2-bed, but got to take what we can get at this point. It is possible.
Oh, yeah. Great start, man. Great start.
Yep.
A 2-bed for your first house, that's totally reasonable. You know, and again, something you can build on.
Absolutely. MacLeod 2486, Carl, that priorities poll really shows how strong women defend feminism. Regardless of voting pattern, dating these days isn't easy. Married folks definitely have it good.
Yeah, man, I'm very, very happy. I love my wife very much. Hopefully, I never have to endure what you lads have to endure, frankly.
Psycho Star becomes a member, and he's been one for 25 months. Thank you. Ryan Harm, arguably this commie imagines that the rich have infinite cookies to take. Oh, yes. That's all. Like, what if we just tax the rich? Well, then you'll pay for about 2% of the government's expenses for a day.
Yeah, mental, isn't it? But also, they don't understand money, remember. Remember, the average leftist views, quote-unquote, the rich as Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
They don't understand that they're rich in assets, which is businesses, which is people's livelihoods, people being employed, which is, you know, people having jobs, the workers themselves.
Yes. And if you make them sell all of that to pay their taxes, well, you're not going to have any businesses anymore.
Yeah. Then it goes away.
Psycho Star, if I can chalk up the conversation, things are getting objectively worse and worse around us. But why can people go back to agreeing with my slogans and prescriptions? Yeah, that is basically what they're saying. Things are shit. We know they're shit. We know they're shit because of us. But why can't we just keep going the same way we've always been going?
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
Bush, I just got a reply from GW about Thomas' post on Charlie. Check your inbox if you want the details. Looks like at least trying to pretend they care. Oh, interesting.
Go on, let's see. Can you get it up? Can you read it?
Let's see. Response from GW. I'm willing to forward to it if you like. Didn't want to presume and send it through. I would ask for consent first. That's fine. Go ahead and send it over.
It's an email, not a fucking marriage proposal.
Yep, it's okay. Let's see. Okay, this one is another one. I've gotten... So, a few of you have decided to tag me in the email sent to GW.
Well,
I can see that there's volume.
Don't do that, because then they'll ignore it. They'll be like, oh, this is from Arch.
Let's see. So, what they said here is, thank you for taking the time to bring this to our attention. We are sorry that one of our employees has behaved in this manner. While we respect everyone's right to personal opinion, we'd like to be clear that we do not support Tom's actions, and we are taking this very seriously.
Oh, good. Keep going. But don't tag Arch. Just, you know, it's got to seem like an independent thing.
Okay, so they are possibly taking some actions. Good. I mean, I want a statement publicly. I don't want to have to email them about this.
Yeah, but the emails are the way that it's going to generate the statement.
Yes. Yeah, that is how we get the statement.
Yeah.
So keep emailing, because then I want them to respond publicly. I want them, because when a dude showed up at a tournament they were not affiliated with in a t-shirt they didn't like, they made an article about it. I want that. Benjamin the Rogue, funny how the only real worker uprising in the last 100 years have all been against socialists, such as Unite the Right and MAGA. Yep.
Yeah.
Grant Nick, I'm 25, disabled veteran, using GI Bill for college, still have a job, minimum week 80 hours. Has been this way since I turned 18. No time for girlfriend, bars, just work. Yeah, now there's a problem too. There's... This is my communist position here, but there is too much work to stay afloat these days.
Hmm.
And that is not a thing we can solve unless we solve socialism first. Like, everyone wants better wages. That I am not at all opposed to the working class being paid more for their labor. In fact, I am all for it.
I'm in favor of it. You know, I want them to get paid what they deserve.
But for that to happen, we need to get rid of a few million freeloaders.
Yeah, it has to stop being a buyer's market. It has to be a seller's market.
Yes.
It has to be good for the person doing the work to be selling their labor. And at the moment, sorry, you're being undercut by 1 billion Deliveroo drivers. So,
yeah. Dreadnought Logan, I am 25, a truck driver earning 25 hour in California, so 25 an hour, I'm assuming. It would cost me about my entire paycheck for rent alone if I was living alone. I've to live with my folks. And the thing is,
I mean, California is insane.
This is one of those things like, oh, you're living with your parent. That's shameful. No, it is not.
No.
It is not. In fact, in many cases, until you've got enough money to at least get a mortgage, it is simply the smart thing to do. It's how you have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no way around it, frankly.
Yeah, it is simply a necessity. Nolly sent out my emails, Art. Let the gates be manned and held, and I know it will be less than ideal, Art, but if they do for these people, fire, I presume, I will honor their choice and swallow my pride and buy their models. Shivers.
Yep. Well done, lads. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for sending emails.
Yep.
You are doing God's work.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Reverend Norse Arch, way back with the Norway politics video where 3 women discussed men's issues, and now again, since you've hinted at a project, how is that going? Slowly but surely.
Oh, yeah, the project's going great. It is actually going great.
Yep. Leper King, GW emailed me back. Tom was suspended. So I've heard that from 2 people now, so that might be true, which is good.
So, just a quick thing on the project as well, right? I am convinced you guys are going to fucking love it. I am absolutely convinced. Am I wrong, Arch?
I don't think you are. I think they will love it.
Yep.
And Attackman, these 2 are the GPU in a PC that isn't good enough to run the game. They keep crashing. They can never quite work out that last bit of code.
In their defense, I actually think they were way better than most leftists.
That's true. They've caught on to the problems at least.
Yeah, they're just leftists, so they can never solve them. But they were way smarter than most leftists.
MJ Bull 515. Why are minorities coming to the UK if they are oppressed and the country is run down? Their understanding of how politics should work has no convergence with reality, and they seem flabbergasted.
Yeah, it's not true. And notice how they define them as oppressed. That's how they come to the people, like how they stipulate the constituency they're talking about.
Yep. Andrew McGraw, ladies and gentlemen, the quality of thought on the left, infuriating. We haven't absolutely crushed these idiots beneath our feet yet.
Well, we weren't trying, were we?
No.
You know, now we're out in the field and fighting them. They're like, oh shit, we're getting our asses whipped. It's like, yeah, but this, and the thing is, right, so I've been with Tommy on these rallies since the very beginning, since they started, right? How long ago do you think we started them to get 1 million men in the street?
Yeah, years and years and years, decade probably.
No, 2024.
2024, really?
We literally started these in June 2024. That exactly, right? That's how quickly this is all coming together. So, like, you know, it's been a year and a bit, basically. So, yeah, no wonder they're like, oh, shit, and we're being crushed. Yeah. Like, we are being effective. We're doing a good job. And you know what was really interesting is at the Tommy rally, everyone was in such high spirits. Like, I was in the backstage area waiting to talk. Didn't get to talk, thanks, Elon. But everyone was just really friendly. Everyone was just on side. I didn't see anyone arguing. I just saw people being like, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in age, or nice to meet you finally, and stuff like this. It was all love, man. All of the whole day. All through the crowd, all in the people involved. And it was just like everyone knew we were onto a winner. Everyone could feel the just incredible energy. And it's just left everyone excited for the next one. And then when Elon called in, man, it was just like, oh shit. Like, this is incredible.
Skullthrone 888, Arch, I sent you the cookie the left deserves. Thank you for the cookie.
Oh, that's very kind.
Bass Player 2011 Iffy, Hans, are we the baddies? Yes.
You've always been
Bumpcrack
the
Jones.
baddies.
Carl, have Harry make an album of Brit Empire songs.
Well, I mean, I recommend it.
There's actually quite a few good ones, like the Grenadiers March, excellent stuff.
Mhm.
Long Way to Tipperary, good stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Kel Bilo, will Sargon be joining the new RP you're starting, Arch?
I have time.
I don't even know when I'm starting it, because I don't have time either, really.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yep. Directly over there, working on my Sororitas Pentient engine, as I hear about GW's employees say about Kirk is disappointing. I would have loved to expand into a Caden army.
Well.
It is what it is. Kaz Venus, for 10 years, we've just been setting the left up for the blue shell. It has been quite a setup, too. Mr. Rich Low Pitch, to quote Avatar, that's why it's called Justice, because it's just us. Angelos32, Arch, I saw a semi-reliable rumor that a RICO case is being put together for Discord and Reddit. I did see a bunch of their CEOs were being called into Parliament.
Yeah, the Senate.
Senate, yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. We'll see if anything comes of it, but
Good start.
let's go start. Excel, I swear these guys are brain damaged like they have a Windows blue screen behind their eyes. There's a part of their programming that they just can't access, it seems like. Stephen Copper becomes a member. Thank you very much, sir. Sujad, Carl, did you see the picture of Ant Middleton going full Muslim?
Yeah, he was visiting Dubai or something, right?
Huh. Did he put on the headdress and stuff?
Yeah, he just dressed like someone like in Dubai. He's being respectful, obviously. But there's nothing. That's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Stephen Cooper gifted 5 Archcast memberships. Thank you very much, sir. Anime Document, damn it, Carl, beat me to the left-wing memes jokes. Kayabar's Barbecue, David Wood and Apostate Prophet are awesome.
Yep, both good lads. Apostate Prophet was there.
Dazed Hillbilly, Carl, you should invite those goobers on Lotus Eaters.
Oh, sorry.
Goobers? I don't know.
Oh, well, these two communists. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, that would be funny.
Yeah. I genuinely like to talk them through things they believe too. Like why do you think this is happening, etc., etc.
Mobile Crusader, Cumride, so we must unite the workers of the world against their own interests. Maybe if we deny reality enough, we can change the world. I mean, maybe. They've been doing a good job of that so far, so... Beleg, for the last 10 years, being a good person meant being a leftist. Now, being a good person means denouncing its most radical elements. Yes.
Yeah. It's good how things change, isn't it?
Theoden, King of Rohan, or Brohan actually, you can also politely contact retailers to sell GW products with concerns, even if you don't play pushback on support of attacking us.
Good point.
Kayabar Barbecue, you two are awesome. Thank you very much, sir. You're awesome too. So, Jar, did you see the Express article about one of the migrants in Epping, breaking into a nearby school, chopped his head out of it? He was a black, of course.
Yeah, they that's true. They reported on it, and they photoshopped literally the guy's head out of the picture. So the guy that the police are arresting is just without a head.
Ah. Well, that makes sense. Trevor N. Have either of you heard of the shopping cart theory? I'm a fan. Your thoughts? Yes, the shopping cart theory is a good way to determine if a civilization is worth salvaging.
Or if the people in it are even civilized.
Yeah, if they're even human beings. I am 100% a subscriber of shopping cart theory.
Obviously.
Daniel Butchers, to truly understand Starship Troopers, you also need to read Staringer is what he wrote. Stranger in a Strange Land and The Moon's Harsh Mistress. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't read those yet.
Moon is a Harsh Mistress is that? Yeah, that's Heinlein 2. Very good. It's very outdated sci-fi by today's standards, but it's still very solid. And it also excellently communicates, by the way, why any like interplanetary empire is near guaranteed to fail.
Really?
At least unless we build it upon very, very strong, commonly held cultural values. But Heinlein has an excellent series of books that really, like, if you want good books, good science fiction, don't read anything today. Go back, read Isaac Asimov, read Heinlein. There's a massive library of excellent stuff out there. Charles the Beagle, since Trump's mother is from the UK, doesn't that make Trump eligible to be PM?
Well, I mean, the thing, so you're there thinking, well, hang on, aren't there some restrictions? No, any foreigner could become prime minister. There's literally no restrictions on any of that because we were always a really homogenous country, right? So, like, there was never any need. Like, there just weren't enough foreigners here to worry about that. But now, it's changed.
Trevor N., the Battle of Athens was a successful revolt in the US. Was it, though? What did it achieve, though? Oh, I have to actually look up that. The Sober Viking, have you two seen bloody Trump effigy at a left march?
Yeah, that was today.
I haven't?
It was yesterday, I think. They had a protest yesterday against Trump visiting. And they had literally like a bloody Trump effigy that they were dragging around.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's definitely the left right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Scarf the Strange, are trans shooters just the modern day Janissaries?
No, the Janissaries were useful.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, they were. They were the Turks going, maybe we should get better fighters.
Yeah.
Shaman McLamy, it looks like the right is reaching Menefrego. Yep.
Very much so.
Sujad, perhaps you should wish for Hassan to have the chance to live in interesting times his politicians promote. I think as far as Hassan concerned, these are the interesting times.
Oh yeah. I mean, Hassan has arrived where we were 5 years ago.
Yes.
Waking up every morning, wondering if his social media presence is still there.
Yes. Mercenary1, canned evidence found on Discord logs. I will take Discord logs with a pinch of salt.
Sorry, what was that?
Discord logs about the Charlie Kirk shooting. I've seen everybody talking about it. It was Canada and Mossad and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sandoom, my sister and brother-in-law got my grandpa's house.
No.
At least you didn't have to pay an inheritance tax, so you'd have to sell it. MacLeod 2486, did you read about in LA vigilantes are going around terrorizing junkies with Narcan? Modern problems, modern solutions.
What's Narcan?
I think that's the anti-narcotics drug that basically like pretends to be drugs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Narcan. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I was somewhat on. So it's basically what they use to forcibly clear narcotics out of a druggie system.
Right.
this basically it binds to the opiate. I believe it's specifically against opiates. It binds to the opiate and then flushes it out of your system, right? Now, this for a person who's addicted to opium is unfathomably uncomfortable.
Yeah, I bet it is. You're going to get massive withdrawal symptoms.
Yes, because you're basically being detoxed over the course of like 24 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd imagine people who are... Yeah, no, that would actually be a terrorizing things.
Yeah,
The worst part is,
lads.
they wouldn't even probably stop being drunkies after that. They'd probably just get right back on it.
Are
Probably.
you ready to rut this yellow mare's fluttery?
Reverend Norse, are the project, the 40k replacement you two are working on, because I do love that, or is it something else? This and the previous 10 for Archcat.
Well, we've got a couple of things on the go. One, the first one will be the smaller scale one, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed at all.
Yep, because we've got a fantasy and a sci-fi one going at the moment.
Yep. So the fantasy one will come first. But it is coming along really, really quickly. So
The DJ Foy. Housing in Australia is stuffed. Parents bought a house when they got married in 78 for 65 grand, paid it off in 5 years in their 20s. 2 to 3 bed equivalent today on 1/4 the block size starts at 1.6 million. Jesus.
So that's probably about like 700,000 British pounds, because like Australian dollars are worth fuck all. It's really weird. Like their wages look like they're 3 times higher than ours, but everything else is 3 times more expensive.
I mean, true, but if they paid for it for 65,000.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong, but it's the same with like boomers all across the West, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was, you know,
Hey, money
Good
used
for
to be
them.
worth something.
yeah.
It's
Wages
not
used to-
anymore.
Work used to be worth something.
We used to have a thing in Norway called kroneis, which means crown ice cream, and it was named that because it was an ice cream cone that cost,
It cost one crown.
Yeah, precisely. These days it costs 20 crowns.
Yeah, so we've got something similar in England called a 99er. It was an ice cream cone with a flake in it that cost 99p. When I was a kid, now it's a fiver. Well, it's £6 actually when I bought it the other day.
Yep. Yeah. No, like things have gotten a bit more expensive over the years. Just a
little
tad.
bit.
Just a tad. Hunter, they keep saying support the working class, but their entire platform is destroying and demonizing everything we want to work for. Provide stability to a family and have a home that belongs to you. Yeah.
Yeah, but have you considered the international working class, comrade?
Yeah. Have you considered that a worker in Angola might benefit from you not having anything?
Yeah.
Marksman 117B on Streamlabs. To clarify, Mercenary Super about Canada, it's been discovered that Canadian government entities have been funding Antifa groups in the USA. Some claim that the shooter was a member of one of those groups, hence people think Canada did it. Friendship Fund.
Well, I'm sure Trump will take it very well. I'm sure he won't fly off the fucking handle and threaten to annex Canada or something.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Canada has been funding Antifa.
Oh, no, I completely believe it. I'd be shocked if they hadn't. The German state funds German Antifa.
Yeah. And again, but Antifa, it's not an organization. It's not a real thing. It's just an idea, people. An idea that's
Somehow they've
receiving
got
millions in funding.
You ignorant slut.
Strange how that works out.
Yeah, really bizarre.
Halfoni, did you hear about Asmongold's dad passing? We did. We are very sorry to hear it.
Yeah, we are.
Leo Wolf the Red, if I was a PM, I'd declare Sargon the new king. Stay for the transition and gladly step down when he dissolves parliament.
Wow.
And finally, Base Hillbilly, can't talk about Pike and Shot without mentioning the Carolinas, the coolest warriors of all time, except for maybe the Winged Hussars. Oh, yes.
The thing is with like coolest warriors of all time is there are so many of them, but sorry, go on.
Pike and shot is just, it has nothing but cool shit. Like the German Zweihand, the Flammen, what was the Flammen? So something called flame in German, basically, which was that wavy two-handed greatsword. Flamberge, thank you. Yes. Those actually served a purpose. The two-handed infantry were intended to move in to the pike blocks using their swords to push up and away the pikes.
Yep.
And then, of course, once they were past the pikes, to just lower that two-hander and fucking swing it across the front rank.
Weirdly, things in war usually have a purpose. Very little of what is actually done in war is pointless.
Like the Ritters, which was another German invention, cavalry with these long pistols. They had a truly interesting way of fighting because they wore so much armor. The swords were fucking pointless. Unless you managed to stab like through a face grill or something, a sword wasn't going to do shit against them. So they used long pistols. And fighting then, they tried to put the pistols, because they needed to be point blank range, they had to rest the pistol against the armor and then fire. So you basically had kind of like a gun akimbo style thing with people fighting with pistols and swinging them around and hitting them with the butts of the pistols to cause like concussions and stuff. It was a really fucking cool period of warfare. And nobody talks about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, we were done, and then chat was... Wyatt, Sargon, why won't the king step in and support his people? Isn't that the point? I respect the institution as a conservative, but it needs to act. As I have explained in the past too, King Charles is not on your side.
King Charles is a shitlib.
Yes.
But he's like Louis XVI. He believes it.
Yep. King Charles is the weak monarch that leads to revolutions, so...
He believes
We've got one of the data points down.
Yeah, he is a fucking globalist. Right, I've got to go, man.
Right, that's fine. We got one last, so you want to take that one too, and then I can let you...
Go on, then.
Reverend Knowles, I thought it was something political since you brought it up during that 3 Women on Men's Issue video. Still, I am looking forward to your game. Thank you very much. And with that, we are through. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for your incredibly generous donations, and thank you, Sargon, for hanging out with me today.
It's always a pleasure.
And I will see all of you again tomorrow, chat. Oh, and Danny D, my greatest concern is that the Western world, especially the USA, is entering an era akin to the Troubles era of the UK. I mean, you're not going to get rid of this much communism without a little bit of trouble. But hopefully it'll be a relatively minimum period if we can simply crash down on it hard.